Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi House here. Sunday special report. And on Sundays, I like to do kind of a 60 minutes kind of style thing where I take some topic, some sort of journalistic topic to look at and talk about it. And well, with the events of Free Agency Friday, with Fred VanVleet leaving, I wanted to take a look at these guys over here. This picture over here, that is art by Drake Serial, a very fantastic graphic artist that does all kinds of crazy good stuff, NBA kind of related stuff, Portland and Toronto mostly. But man, she is a fantastic artist. Drake Serial, highly recommend it. And that is our championship team that won. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, the only people on there that are still with the team are the Raptor, Drake, and Pascal at this point. It's crazy. So I wanted to kind of talk about this misconception that's going around right now that the Raptors have fumbled asset management since the championship, as evidenced by the championship team not being around us anymore. And I think this is kind of a fallacy. It's kind of not fair to the Raptors organization for various different ways. And really, I want to take a look at each one of the Raptor champions and how they left the team and understand that, this was something that happened over time, little by little. And some of the circumstances for why these people left is kind of messed up in some ways, in some cases things were handled very well, and in some cases not so well. Now we know when Masai made the deal with San Antonio in the summer of 2018 to trade DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, we may have been getting Kawhi for just a year rental. We knew going in. So in some ways, Masai did a very gambling kind of move to go for it, and it paid off majorly. It majorly did. We won a championship, 2019. Bam, right here. Yeah. So that was a home run. That was a great move, no matter how you shake it. But as part of that deal, well, we were only getting him for 1 year. And in some ways, that really kind of screws things up from the whole point that people are saying. It's like, well, if he's only here for 1 year, you're basically losing DeMar DeRozan, then Kawhi Leonard for nothing because he just walked. And I saw a very, very interesting table of stats from yesterday that showed the top four biggest payoffs to a free agent switching a team. And the four names were on that list, and two of them were Raptors from our championship team. Well, one of them's Kawhi Leonard, and he got one of the biggest paydays ever as a free agent switching teams. Normally, you can't get a huge payday like that switching teams because teams are hamstrung with their salary caps, and they really have to have cap space to outbid a team that has a player already to pay more than they can actually pay. So in some ways, it's very, very hard to pry a player from another team because you have to have way more cap space, just like Houston did this weekend towards Fred than we did. And this is the case in this case with Kawhi, although not totally true. We could have paid Kawhi the same money as the Clippers, but he was an unrestricted free agent. So it was completely solely on his decision. Well, we know that he was making some crazy demands if he was going to stay in Toronto, and Masai wasn't just going to have that. He wasn't going to have it. No, I'm sorry. We can't do that. That's not how we run this organization, Kawhi. I'm sorry. So, as part of the deal of trading DeMar to get Kawhi and Danny like that, we got the championship, but only 1 year of Kawhi. And I can see where people say, okay, well, no more Kawhi after that. That's totally losing that premium number one franchise player spot on your team. I get it, but there is nothing you can do about it. It's a part of the deal. The deal was 1 year, and you got, well, there wasn't a championship in the deal, but there was in the end, and that's fantastic. So in some ways, that was such a gambler move by Masai, and it was a home run. And some people want this again. And I'm not saying that we can't do this kind of move again where we hit a home run, a gambling move home run like this. But hopefully it won't be such a shaky kind of player like Kawhi, and maybe will stick around. Kawhi not staying did extremely hurt our chances to repeat after that, obviously. And he said that he left because he didn't think this team was good enough to repeat. He was wrong. He was proven wrong, in fact. And our team has performed better in a lot of ways than the Clippers have since he went to the Clippers. So, yeah, it's kind of a messed up situation how Kawhi left. It was very much set up that way. He was just coming to 1 year in Toronto to get away from San Antonio. It was an ends to means. So you can't really do anything about that. That's a personal decision by an unrestricted free agent that made the decision himself with his uncle and walked. And you can't do jack shit about that. Now, Raptors fans, would you take that deal if you knew exactly what was going to happen in the future after you traded DeMar like that? Would you take that deal still, Raptors fans? Would you take Kawhi for 1 year and the championship, just like what really actually happened? Would you do that? I would do it every single time. I would do it every single time if I was Masai. I would take that gamble and I would try it because it paid off. Now, because Kawhi didn't stay, Danny didn't know what we were doing, and he was kind of in limbo, Danny Green. And Kawhi kind of screwed over Danny in some ways for more money. He could have gotten more money if he had done things earlier, but Kawhi took so much time making his decision to go to the Clippers that Danny Green had to scramble afterwards. Now, he was going to come back and play for us if Kawhi had decided to come back. But because Kawhi didn't, that was really the first domino that kind of said, okay, well, Danny's like, well, you know what? I'm going to go play for the Lakers. And he did go play for the Lakers, and he did win. He won a championship with the Lakers the very next year. So, the Danny Green thing could have been totally different if Kawhi had signed back with us. So there's two dominoes right there. Now, in some ways, I was okay with this because we knew going in we're going to be a year rental of Kawhi Leonard possibly, and that we couldn't do anything about that. So that's just how that went. So there you go. You lose that part. Next year, very interesting. We kick ass. We have a really good record. We have basically the same team, just without those two guys from the Spurs. And we kick so much ass. Like, we are really kicking ass. In fact, we're kicking so much ass. This was reminiscent of the baseball strike for Montreal Expos in the baseball year when they looked like they were going to win the World Series. And then all of a sudden they striked and they ended the season in the MLB. They were doing that good. Well, we were doing that good when the pandemic struck. Seriously, we may have been the hottest team in the whole entire NBA when that pandemic struck, when Rudy Gobert grabbed that microphone and said, oh, I shouldn't touch this. Seriously. And that right there showed that Kawhi was wrong, that if he had stayed, we would have been a badass power in the East, and we would have probably likely had a good chance to repeat that year. Of course, everything got screwed up that year. That pandemic really messed us up. It really, really, really messed us up. And, Pascal sat in his room, didn't work out the whole time, and he wasn't ready for when they resumed the playoffs. He probably didn't know what was going to go on. The NBA was really weird and fishy, and it seemed like they tried to force those playoffs in the bubble because they just really wanted the playoffs to happen, the cycle of the NBA year to happen no matter what. And they made it happen no matter what. And in some ways, they made it where they wanted a certain team to win that did. So, yeah, there was a lot of fishiness there. There was a little bit of weirdness with our failure in the bubble. This is the thing. When we fail like we did this year with Chicago Bulls in the playing game, there's repercussions that reverberate from it. And we're feeling them right now in the changes that have happened with the Toronto Raptors franchise in the last couple months. That's the thing. So in the bubble, when we did the game 7 with Boston and lost that series, that had reverberations for our future because we weren't successful at that time. So we were very much looking at where different players around the league were about to come up on their contracts, and specifically the franchise player of the Milwaukee Bucks named Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has a prior relationship with Masai Ujiri, that they're very good friends. And in some ways, Masai thought that Toronto would have a really good chance to possibly lure Giannis to come to Toronto. So in a housekeeping move to be safe and try and open up a nice landing spot for him to come here, if we could sign him in the Giannis sweepstakes, we had to make a very difficult decision to not pay two aged vets that were getting big paydays. That we couldn't do and still try and get Giannis. So we made it, and this was the weirdness too of this pandemic once again. There was no off season. They had like a month off between the Lakers winning the championship and starting the very next season because they wanted to try and get everything back on track for the normal NBA schedule. So they condensed like 4 months of activities into 1 month. And it all happened very, 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 very fast. But the decisions were made by Bobby and Masai to get rid of Serge and Mark to free up space to possibly get Giannis. Now, that is very sound strategy. To me, that makes complete sense. You just did something with Kawhi, and that was huge. Why not go for another home run move and hopefully be successful at it? Well, we know what happened. Giannis took the Supermax with Milwaukee and stayed with the Bucks, and he did not come to Toronto. Now, some people will say, well, that's a fail that you let those guys go. But he had to. That was the right GM move. He had to take the gamble. And this time it didn't pay off. And it's too bad because we had a brain drain. We definitely did. But let's not get it twisted. The losses of Ibaka and Gasol at that time were okay because they really did kind of taper off as players after that. They kind of had their top level kind of stuff with us in the NBA. And then they went other places and they didn't really perform and weren't really that helpful in some ways. Gasol with the Lakers and Ibaka with the Clippers and then the Bucks. So that's not a fail to me. That's proper GM management. That is him making an allowance and an opportunity to possibly happen. And if he had been as successful getting Giannis at that time, everybody would have looked at him like as some sort of GM god. I'm serious. Going from the Kawhi move to circling around in a year and getting Giannis like that would have been such a crazy GM master level move. But alas, the gamble didn't pay off on that one. I don't discount what they did in that situation as a fail. That was the proper move of Masai Ujiri at that time to allow for the best possible opportunity for the Raptors to win in the future. He thought he had a chance to get Giannis. So he did what he had to do to make it happen. And he made the right decisions. It hurt. It hurt. Oh, yeah. And especially when we were told that we couldn't play here in Toronto for that year. And we had to go down south to Tampa. That is the most extraordinary situation an NBA franchise could have to go through. That in some ways, the fact that we play in another country was a huge detriment at that time. And we had to go play in Tampa, in Florida. And we had to scramble in the very short and off season to replace Mark and Serge because we had no centers all of a sudden with people like Aaron Baines and Alex Len. So we were set up to have a drop after that for sure, based on solely that we're home based out of Florida all of a sudden. So, I think that people don't give enough credit to the Toronto Raptors organization for how they dealt with the year in Tampa. That year in Tampa, if other teams had done that, they may have folded. Seriously, a team like Charlotte, if they had to go and do that, they may have been out of business after that. Seriously, we weathered a very difficult, tough place that could have destroyed our franchise. Other lesser franchises run by worse people that do not know what they're doing, they could have ran a team out of business. Having to do what we had to do with switching cities like that. The fact that we did it so seamlessly, professionally, and got it done, and even actually had some silver linings around that season, Scotty Barnes, that, I would say that the Tampa season is a success. Considering all of the unique, crazy new weird thing that no other team had ever had to deal with other than, the Pelicans having to go play in Houston for a little while because of Katrina. This is totally different though. They were there temporarily and there's a proximity that's pretty easy too. There was no proximity between Toronto and Tampa. So yeah, I give a lot of credit to our front office for being very professional, dealing with an unseen, crazy ass situation that no other team had to deal with that year. And we still kind of came through it all with a team that was still competing for playoffs afterwards. Other teams would have dropped in the standings and gone down to nothing. In fact, some ways the NBA and people in the NBA wanted that to happen to the Raptors. They declared us dead when we had to go to Tampa. Well, this is obviously going to kill them. 2 years after their championship, and now they got to relocate like this. Then they're a mess, and they just lost like all their vets from their championship team. Oh my gosh, the Raptors are going to be so horrible. Well, we weren't that good, but we made the best of it, and we ended up like, this is another thing. Now, people say that we're not doing asset management with our Raptors very well. Bullshit. And that Tampa year was a good example of it. We realized that Norman Powell was coming up on a big payday, but we didn't necessarily want to pay him that amount here. And so we were like, we got to be proactive with this. Well, we were. We went and made a trade and traded him for Gary Trent Jr. Now, people may be crying out, well, why didn't we do that for Fred this year? Well, because we really did fully intend to sign Fred back. Norman, we didn't. So in some ways, it's like we knew what we wanted to do with Norm. We wanted to keep Fred, guys. We did not plan to get outbid by Houston. And the outbidding of us by Houston is really because of the new CBA and the rules that they have to spend their money right now. That's why. And that's why they went on a little shopping spree yesterday and added Dylan Brooks and I don't know who else they added. Jock Landell, a couple other names. That's right, Jeff Green even. So they did get some vets to play alongside Fred after all. And they shipped out Josh Christopher. But I'm just saying the plan was always to retain Fred. And we wanted to take that chance. We needed to take that chance no matter what. In some ways, losing Fred the same way that Kawhi was lost for nothing. And he's on that list that I'm talking about. And I'm going to talk about that list some more when we get to Fred. Norman was never in the plans in that way like Fred was. And that's the difference between Norman getting traded for Gary in the middle of the season and Fred not getting traded this season for somebody. That's the difference right there. Fred, we honestly and truly did want to continue with him. And well, we got outbid. That's just how it went. So honestly, the foresight and the ahead of time move of Norman Powell for Gary Trent Jr., wouldn't you say that was a success? Wouldn't you say that? We got a guy we could pay less that did a lot of the same stuff that Norman did. In fact, he excelled Gary, and he added more value in a second side to his game, became a two-way player, and we unlocked him to a degree. And we got him now still in the fold. So the asset of Norman Powell lives on with us through Gary Trent Jr. So that was a brilliant move. Once again, that's a good move. I don't see where that's very good asset management, as y'all put it. So, I can justify why Mark and Serge left. I can tell you why Kawhi chose to leave, and we had no choice over that. I can tell you that we were really smart in trading Norman ahead of time. And then, once again, at the end of the Tampa season, we did asset management in a really smart way, and we signed and traded Kyle Lowry to the Miami Heat. We knew that once again, we had another guy who was going to be looking for a payday that maybe we didn't want to eat up that much of the salary cap. So we had to make other arrangements for Kyle at that time. And we did a sign and trade and ended up with Precious. So this is the thing. They're doing the asset management when they understand when people are not going to be any longer part of our plans. And all these guys that we have, we really do want them to be a part of our plans until it doesn't make any sense. For whatever reason, maybe it's the money doesn't line up with what we want from them, like with Norman and Kyle in that year in Tampa. So that year, they did a brilliant job managing the team in Tampa. You could say that the GM office of Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster had a 10 out of 10 year. Even though we were in Tampa, we were relocated. They weathered that. They got really good trades for Kyle and Norm. And then they landed Scotty Barnes from all the misery of Tampa. And as Masai said, Tampa was worth it because we got Scotty. So I don't see any fail around the Tampa season for the front office of the Raptors. If you look at that season, in fact, they were successful despite the crazy situation they were in. So, all right, we come back from Florida and we have a good season. We have a new rookie, Scotty Barnes. We have Precious Achua on our team all of a sudden. And we know what we compete. We play really well and we have a pretty good year. We get to the playoffs. And we do so well, we're running it back. And we did not lose any assets from our championship team in that offseason. But before that, the first 3 off seasons after our championship, we had lost 2 of our main people off here every single summer. So that's 6 of our core gone in 3 off seasons after the championship year. And it's big time. It's like the 3 old head vets, Kyle, Mark, and Serge, Norman, Kawhi, and Danny. So we didn't lose anybody in the summer after we played Philadelphia in the playoffs, but we've lost 2 more now. So that's 8 out of the core. And this time, the ones we lost this summer are very serious ones in some ways, because this is the thing about the guys we lost this summer. They weren't planned. We did not plan to lose Nick Nurse or Fred VanVleet this summer. That's by far not the truth. We really did want to continue with Nick, but Nick sabotaged his career here in Toronto. People do not realize this. Casuals do not realize that Nick really fucked up this year. He made all kinds of mistakes. He sabotaged his career here and he had to leave. There was nothing we could do. He was compromised. The players didn't trust him anymore. We didn't trust him. The front office didn't trust him. He had to be fired. And that's part of the reason why he's not the coach of Team Canada anymore either, because he's not able to be trusted at this point by anything Canadian. Trust me. And that was not foreseen. That was something that internally happened from the inside of Nick that manifested on our team and fucked up our year. A lot of people said, well, this year we were mid. Why do we want to run it back? Well, we were only mid because Nick was holding us back with his emotional problems, his really weird energy, such weird energy from Nick this year. And well, this was something that happened unforeseen and we didn't want to deal with it. But this is the thing. I look at our front office as handling this very, very well. In some ways, we could have been strong-armed by Nick to overpay him and have him as a toxic coach still, just because we're so worried about losing him. No. See, we didn't act like that. And I'm so proud of Masai and Bobby to not give in to Nick Nurse's terroristic kind of tactics with how he dealt with our team this year. And, they were strong and smart. And they said, no, you know what? You're fired, bro. Get the fuck out of here. And that was the right decision. Once again, the front office that was the right decision. Anybody who thinks firing Nick was a fail by them and they need to be fired because of that, you're just making it worse when you say that. Because we didn't want to fire Nick. Nick made us have to fire him. If somebody quits on the team with 2 weeks of the season still left, and then, we see the results at the end. Yeah, he's lost the room. He's lost the guys. He's lost the team. And he lost it all. He's lost it all now. He's lost Team Canada. He's lost his Nick Nurse Foundation up here. Although he's probably going to still do it on the down low, but maybe not here himself. He lost a lot. And we did lose him too, honestly. We lost him, and the integrity that he had with us and the security and that's gone. And that's part of what sucks about this. Now, Darko's an unknown. And I would say the front office gets a really good grade for doing the due diligence of the coach search and doing it and getting this guy that we got. I'm already going to predict he's a huge success before even seeing what's going to happen with him, because I've seen his character. I've seen how he carries himself, and I see the stuff he's talking about. And I'm like, this guy's going to be fantastic. So I, once again, laud the front office for making the switch and getting Darko hired for us. They did a really good job in this coach's search. Other people, maybe from looking from the outside, maybe who the fuck is that? And then, people are like, why the fuck are we going from Nick Nurse to Darko? Who the fuck is this? They don't know what they're talking about. And they don't know what NBA insiders, people that cover the sport, people that have played in this league, people that have coached in this league know about Darko Rajakovic. We know about him. We know he's a hot shot. We know he's the next great coach to come in. And that's why the experts, when we hired Darko, said, this is an amazing hire. This is a great hire for Toronto. So that's what I'm going to say right now. The Nick Nurse thing was unavoidable. It sucks. It was Nick's own doing. And it sucks because we did not want to have to fire him now. You know that Masai didn't want to fire him when he said, y'all can dream about getting him. Well, Nick Nurse turned into a nightmare. And then the dream of having Nick Nurse on our team is done. And now he's a Philadelphia 76er. Well, the stuff with Fred is another whole kind of unforeseen circumstance that kind of got fucked up. And really, I am going to blame the CBA on this. The CBA coming out like on Wednesday night made a rule that says all the teams have to spend 90% of their salary cap. Well, Houston's been operating for profit by not paying anybody on their team. They have all rookies and young players, and then like Eric Gordon on their team last year. Well, their payroll was like 30% of what they were supposed to pay. They were doing this as a cost-cutting move. They were doing this because the owner's cheap. They were doing this just to save money. They didn't really care about competing. They weren't serious, so they weren't spending any money. Well, the NBA didn't like that, and they made a rule where they had to spend money real quick. And that's why they spent a whole bunch of money. They fucking gave the same amount of money to Dylan Brooks yesterday that we're giving to Jakob Poeltl. That's what I'm saying. They're overspending on purpose. They had to because the NBA told them. So this is a special circumstance. This is exactly like Allen Iverson in the draft pick in 1996, number one. The only time they ever had a rule for expansion teams coming in the league was when the Canadian teams came in. They saw Shaq and Penny get drafted by the Orlando Magic too early in their franchise existence, a number one pick that early, and they changed the rules. And what happened was when they expanded with Toronto and Vancouver, they told us we couldn't have a first-round pick for like the first 3 or 4 years. Well, the second year of the Raptors' existence, we won the lottery. We won the first pick. We should have drafted Allen Iverson, but we didn't. We drafted Marcus Camby in the second pick because we weren't allowed to have the first pick because of the Orlando rule. Once again, this is a bullshit rule that have hurt the Raptors specifically and only the Raptors. That we didn't have Allen Iverson. Think about the difference of what would have happened if the NBA didn't have such a shitty rule at that time and Allen Iverson had been a Raptor with possibly Vince Carter on our team. Yeah. So this is another one of those kind of situations where we get shafted just a little bit. By the way, we were the only team that ever had to suffer that, us and the Grizzlies. They changed the rule back afterwards when they did the next expansion, and none of the other expansion teams had to deal with that afterwards. So, yeah, you tell me if there's unfair, weird shit for Toronto sometimes. Playing in Tampa, not getting a first-round pick, a number one pick in the 96 draft. And now the salary cap changed for the Houston Rockets where they had to be Monty Brewster and spend a whole bunch of money real quick. And, well, Fred, our guy, our captain, our built-up, undrafted into a max player is now gone this way. It's crazy. Like, seriously, this void is filled on Houston's salary cap is not going to ever have to be filled so quickly and with so much money ever again, because the league will keep it consistent and say you got to follow the rules every year. Well, they had to get right with the rules. They had to do this crazy ass once in a lifetime kind of shit. And Fred is the huge benefactor of it. Huge benefactor of it. But we get a brain drain. We get a drain of our point guard, our captain, our brain, our heart, and our coach in the last 2 months. And in some ways, these were unforeseen. And these are kind of the fucking weird shit that the rocky waters of the NBA that the GM and the president of our team have to navigate through. And I commend Bobby Webster for going and getting Dennis Schroeder right away afterwards. And there's still some other moves that could happen. There's grumblings that Kyle Lowry could get waived, y'all. And who knows if the Groat can return to the six. Now, that would be crazy if Kyle Lowry all of a sudden boomerang back to us because Miami waived him because of a Dame Lillard deal. And now all of a sudden Lowry's back with us. And he could be the starting point guard right away when he comes in. We know that. Now, he'd have to sign for something weird to get here. But who knows? Maybe we have to trade for him. I don't know. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with that. But getting back to this whole thing with the biggest contracts that have been signed by free agents switching teams, there's 4 names on that list. The first name is Kawhi. And Kawhi switched from the Raptors to the Clippers. That was a detriment to the Raptors. I will agree with this, but we couldn't do nothing. That was Uncle Dennis and Kawhi's decision. So, yes, we're on that list as getting lost. A huge asset. That's DeMar DeRozan into Kawhi Leonard for nothing. Exactly, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But we couldn't do a jack shit about that. You know that, and we got a championship out of it. So are you upset? No. It's nothing we could have done in that situation. The middle two names, LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers to the Lakers. He got stolen from the Cavs by the Lakers in a big, huge free agent payday. That hurt the Cavs for sure. That definitely hurt the Cavs when LeBron turned his back on Cleveland and went to the Lakers. Then the other one, Kyrie Irving leaving the Celtics to go to the Nets. That was a huge hurt for them in some ways. Kyrie taking off on them and going to the Nets. And then the last name on the list, and the one that made the most money out of those three names, Kyrie, LeBron, Kawhi, the guy who made the most money switching from one team to the next, a new team in a free agency deal, Fred VanVleet. And the team that got the detriment of it was the Raptors. So 2 times, huge free agency people have left the Raptors, and we were left with nothing in that. Now, some will say that's a fucking fail by the front office, but I disagree with them. In fact, I say that they're badasses for weathering those kind of losses. We'll see how they deal with Fred. We'll see, and I'm sure they're going to be successful. Their track record speaks to it. But that's the thing I would say. It's not what you can do and make happen to make sure you're successful. It's how you deal with the adversity and the obstacles and the things that are put in front of you that you can't forecast, that you don't know is going to happen. That's part of the thing about being a GM in the league. You can't predict everything, and you have to be quick on your toes and reactive and ready to be opportunistic. Our front office is brilliantly good at this. And all the adversity and crazy shit that the Raptors organization has been through in the 5 years since our championship is a testament to how good they are at their jobs, weathering the storm through rocky, crazy-ass stormy seas. So I will make this plea to Raptors fans to hear me out on this whole situation that I just laid out for you guys. That the fact that we have 2 of the top names that have left the team to go to another team in a free agent signing as a drain, and we still weathered it. You know, people would say, where's our asset management? Well, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at OG. Look at Pascal. Look at Scotty. Look at Precious. We got assets, baby. We may have lost all kinds of assets in the last couple of years. Older players like Serge and Mark, Kawhi Leonard, Fred VanVleet now. But we've always got new assets building up and developing, and our team is still super attractive to the rest of the league. They want all our players. So who's to say we haven't done well at asset management? So I just want to debunk a bit today the whole reason why our championship team has been dismantled at this point. There's one man standing. His name's Pascal Siakam. He's the only player on there that still plays for us, and our coach is even gone at this point. That's so fucked up. In some ways, I wonder, there was a very vested interest in the NBA to make sure the Raptors aren't a perennial winner and competing for the championship in some ways. They really don't like that because in some ways they don't want that. So they do try and hurt us on the down low in different ways. And Masai and Bobby have to fight that too. That's part of that stormy waters I just described. That they have to fight against a lot of extra shit that y'all don't even realize. And in some ways, that's part of the reason why Raptors Nation needs to give them a benefit of the doubt and also understand that you could get a Rap Badcock or some other fucking jabroni GM to come in here and they will do so much worse and fail all over the place. So be careful what you wish for, Raptors Nation. The Masai and Bobby are doing a damn good job considering all the rough seas they've had to sail this team through for 10 years. And I just want to say, y'all shut your damn mouths about wanting to fire them because they're doing an excellent job. In fact, we are an enviable team. We are one of the best organizations in this league. And that's because of Masai. So shut your damn mouths if you have a bad word to say about our front office right now. We are doing so well considering all the adversity and things stacked against us. All right. I don't know. There was one other part of that I wanted to say as far as like Let me try and remember it. I don't remember. Maybe I'll remember it later and I'll add on to it. All right, let me get into y'all's comments. Thanks for letting me go on a 35-minute special report about what happened to the Raptors championship team. That's what happened. And listen, okay, this is the part I want to add. Let's look at the Warriors, for example. The Warriors are a dynasty that the NBA has very much coddled and wanted to keep together no matter what. The fact that they've been able to have Draymond, Steph, Clay, and pretty much those three guys and whoever around them, and then like Steve Kerr still there, has been a really huge bonus and good thing for them. But nobody's come to try and fuck with that. Seriously. The NBA has not tried to come and fuck with that arrangement there. They like it the way it's sitting, and they've allowed it to be that way for over a decade. That's the thing. If they want to allow teams to stay together, they will encourage it. They didn't want us to stay together. They very much nefariously on the download could be Steve Ballmer talking to the NBA. We don't want them to have Kawhi next year. You have to get him. I'm working on it. Don't worry. Me and Doc went and colluded and talked to him already this season. We went and talked to him. Trust me, he's going to come. That's the thing that people don't understand either, that we're fighting against, is that the other teams like Miami and Golden State, they want to keep those cores and those people around those teams to keep them going. Golden State is the biggest example of this. And the re-signing of Draymond back after all the drama this year and the questions about him going to join LeBron and the Lakers and him just coming right back to the Warriors, that signifies just how much the NBA in some ways has really wanted them to stay together as a group. It's just too bad they didn't value our group to stay together like the Warriors. And in some ways that shows, there is favoritism in this league. There's favoritism. So, all right, let me keep going. Trevor J's here. Good to see Trevor J. Good morning, Raptors family. Good morning to you, Trevor J. So the Raptors get the head coach of the Chicago Sky, James Wade. All young coaches will fit in good and relate to the guys on our roster. Yes, James Wade getting hired yesterday as another assistant coach added to Darko's staff. James Wade is the cousin of Dwayne Wade, y'all. He is married to a professional player that is retired. She's a very good player herself. I forget her name. Her name's Elena, I believe. Well, James Wade was the GM and head coach of the Chicago Sky of the WNBA. Apparently, it is reported that James came to coach the Chicago Sky during the WNBA game earlier this summer, the exhibition game against the Lynx, and he really wowed people around Toronto as far as Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster with just who he was, how he carried himself, and different things like that. So they actually were very interested in him, and they have lured him away from being the GM and the coach to be an assistant coach for the Raptors. Now, some people are very upset about this from the WNBA side. And some people are saying that some very ugly people are also saying dissing the whole WNBA because of this departure to take this job. That it's a step up to go from the GM and coach of the Chicago Sky to just being an assistant coach of the Raptors. Well, I don't know what the pay difference is. So I won't say that he's getting paid more. I don't know if he is or not. He may not be. That's one thing. But I do know this. James Wade does have a dream of coaching in the NBA, and he had not coached the NBA yet. So this is part of it right there. Now, he's had a very successful tenure in the Chicago Sky organization. He has like a 47% win percentage. I know 57% win percentage, not 47%. That's not right. 57% wins percentage and a championship. The WNBA championship, I think it was in 2019. I think when we won, they won. And he has been around that organization for about 5 or 6 years. So he does have a bit of a track record. His intersections with the Darko are that he is French. He is a French-American man who has French citizenship because he was a European professional player once again. And he probably knows Darko from a long, long time ago. Now, some of the things I know about James Wade is he has a very, very, very cool personality. He is just kind of like an exuberant dude who really inspires. And he's kind of a motivational speaker kind of guy. It may be a little bit like Pascal's got Les Brown on the bench with him because he's got that vibe to him, that vibe, like in some ways like that. His nickname is Coco, and he does go by that name. So you guys can call him Coach Coco. So we got Coach Bulldozer and Coach Coco added to Darko's coaching staff now. But James is 47. He's within that 40-year-old range that all the coaches are so far on Darko's staff, and he's an excellent addition. if not a loss for the WNBA, and just doesn't look good in some ways. And some people are condemning the Raptors and James Wade for making this switch. It's his life. Let him make his own decisions. If he wants to come and do this, it's his life. And some people are saying, well, it's in the middle of the season. What the fuck? The Chicago Sky are in the middle of it right now, and they're doing pretty well. Well, he had somebody to step up, his successor. And it could very well be that this person was ready to come in for this at any time, just in case this opportunity for James came up. So it's a little bit of a difficult situation because of the animosity, once again, from the WNBA. In some ways, we want to get a WNBA team, but we're already an enemy to the WNBA people. We talked about taking their championship coach for the Las Vegas Aces, Becky Hammond, and hiring him. That really pissed off a lot of WNBA people. And now we've stolen the GM and head coach of the Chicago Sky. Yeah, the Raptors organization is not the favorite of WNBA loyal people right now. Let's just put it that way. So if we do get our team, we will come in as a heel team, I think. I'm all about that. I want us to get our team. They know it's good money business to put a WNBA team here in Toronto, and they will. I know it's a slam dunk, 100% going to happen. In fact, them coming here and the stuff with Brittany Griner in Russia has brought the profile up of the league, and now their attendance and stuff is all going up. Well, you want to continue that WNBA, you come to Toronto. You know you will get support here. But congratulations, James Wade, on coming to the Raptors. We're very happy to have you here. And our European flavor gets another flag added, France. We have a French coach now, guys, added to our very European team. So thanks for dropping the knowledge, Trevor, on James Wade, cousin of Dwayne. He is Dwayne Wade's cousin. He is actually. It's not like a bullshit thing. It's just like Tracy and Vince. They're actually really related. So, yeah, it's Dwayne Wade's cousin, guys. Trevor's also saying they're sending the Toronto Raptors just stole Jalen McDaniels from the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, a move yesterday. We used our little midi, our injury mid-level, to sign Jalen McDaniels from the Philadelphia 76ers. That's right, little stealing back. You can take our coach. Well, we're going to take this long, athletic, McDaniels brother from you guys. Now, he's not the better one. Obviously, the better one's in Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels, but we know Jaden McDaniels. You see the potential with this guy. Now, this move kind of mystified me when we did it yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, Bobby Masai, you just have like a broken record as far as you really love this type of player. Really, really love the long, lanky, athletic, all-around player. And he can't really shoot. So I'm like, all right, we got another one of our type of guys, a Vision 6'9" guy in Jalen McDaniels. Now, it's interesting because he's younger, and we're going to see, hopefully he can do different things. But I'm really worried because Chris Boucher posted last night at 2 a.m, a sad face or some sort of, he's sleeping. He's sleeping on basketball. Okay, that's a sleeping on basketball. I don't know what that means. Now, there is rumblings because of the McDaniels trade that we're going to make a trade and trade with somebody big from our team to try and fix things. A lot of fans want this right now. There were people coming in here talking about trading Pascal, and I was pissed at them. I was cussing them out. Well, there are signals that this deal in particular makes me feel like we may trade some people. So we'll have to see what happens. Once again, I'm not going to speculate anything or want to trade. If it happens, I'll react to it and we'll talk about it. But otherwise, I'm just shutting up. I don't want to add to the trade talk buzz or bullshit because I hate that. And Gary Trent Sr. said that the Raptors last year were under the suspicion that they were maybe going to be traded anytime and didn't help things with our situation last year. So I'm not doing this. I'm not going to talk about wanting a trade or speculate about what the trade will be. But when it happens, I will definitely be talking about it here. You know that. So Jalen McDaniels, I'm not too thrilled about this move because this is signaling a trade, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I think he's kind of repetitious for what we've got on our roster already. So I'm not happy about this move with Jalen McDaniels. We'll see how it pans out. I could be very pleased with it in the end. But right now, to me, optics of it, it doesn't make sense. Why did you do it? You're kind of making, is this a joke? Are you just like playing this Vision 6'9" thing, Bobby, over and over again? I'm not saying it's a bad move because I don't know. We'll see what he does. It could be a good thing. So I'm not going to criticize it in too much ways. It's just optically from the end coming in, it doesn't look like a good move to me just because it's so repetitious with our roster. But if it means we get to say we stole something from Philadelphia back at them, okay, I'll take that. Yeah, we stole somebody back from Philly. All right. All right, Cool Cat's here. Good morning to Cool Cat. Or no, Nameless. That's Nameless. Sorry, I didn't see that right. The Raptors are going to crush teams next season. They've got something up their sleeves or know something we do not. Those confident giggles from Masai at his presser were very telling at this point. Was Masai giggling at the presser? I don't remember that. I don't remember hearing Masai ever giggle. He probably laughs like that. I don't know how he laughs. That's why I don't know, Nameless. Listen, I believe that too. I want to believe this. We're going to crush teams next year, and we always have stuff up our sleeve where we're going to surprise people. Nameless saying Raptors will finish top 3 in the East next season. I love that prediction. I hope you're exactly right. I will take top 5. I will take top 5. Top 3 may be a little tough, but I will take top 5. Nameless, we get top 5. That'd be fantastic. Dana's here. Good morning, everyone. From Canadian Dana, I am Canadian. Happy Canada Day to everybody yesterday. Fantastic Canada Day for people. Nameless is saying it's Pascal, Pensair's new target. You were right all along about him, Lex, a double agent. So he's already going after Pascal. See, that's what I'm saying. Fuck that guy. Seriously, let's get the word out. This guy's just trying to destroy things from the inside and get rid of this dude. Call him out on all the streams. Say exactly what he is and bombard him. And then just seriously tell people in the Raptors community who this fucking guy is and what he's trying to do. And then we can shut him down because that's the only way we're going to stop this. Is to tell people the truth about him, get this shit out there as much as possible, and people will stop listening to him. If he has some loyal, stupid little people that follow him still, whatever. But the overall main brunt of all Raptors Nation needs to know who Robert Misovich is and what the fuck he's doing on Pensair basketball to try and destroy the Raptors. All Raptor fans need to know his true motives. My motives are for them to win an NBA championship, more and more of them. And to be successful as a passionate, real Raptor fan. That motherfucker is trying to destroy us piece by piece. So you know the truth, go call him out. Put it in his comments. If you do frequent him and me, please start calling him out if you truly believe what I'm saying right now, because I know it. He's saying it right there, that he's seeing him. He's a piece of shit trying to dismantle our organization piece by piece. He got Fred, now he's going after Pascal. So seriously, y'all, call him out and let's raise the alarm. And Raptors Nation, you know, other Raptors fans, tell them about Pensair. Tell them the truth and tell them that and see if they still want to support him. If they do, then they're part of the problem too. All right, let's keep going. Nako's here. Good to see Nako the Nacho. My good friend Gerald, always getting up on stage and doing his stand-up comedy. All right, I know I got a lot to go. Well, I had time today, so we're all right. Nako's saying, I need Darko to truly unlock Jalen McDaniels. His brother is real good. If Embiid asks for a trade, finally able to toke and watch the show. What? You're talking about Embiid. You're finally able to toke and watch the show. You're not working. You're able to be at home and watch. Gerald, are you still going to maybe possibly come see me this week? I'd love to have what you said happen this week on Thursday. We'll see if that can happen. But yeah, I think that this would be good. The template is his brother. All right, they're twins. They're the same body type. They're kind of the same person. Maybe he can be more like Jaden, and Darko may know how to get him there closer. I like that kind of mindset, Nako, and that could be true. We'll have to see. I don't know what you're talking about with Embiid. Are they all just ready to get out of there? I mean, a lot of people are coming out as saying they don't really want to play for Nick. You know, this is part of what happened yesterday. We found out yesterday that Dame Lillard is not interested in going to Sixers. He's taken them off the list. The Sixers may want Dame Lillard, but he doesn't want them. And I'm specifically thinking it's Nick Nurse. Seriously, I don't think he wants to go to the Sixers because of Nick Nurse. We're finding out more and more about players that aren't really thrilled about being around Nick Nurse or having to do with him. And that's one of them. James Harden, another one. He don't want to have nothing to do with Nick Nurse. And that's why he's demanding a trade right now. Jamal Murray, maybe he didn't want to play for Team Canada as like he wasn't ready to commit, partly because of Nick Nurse. Well, Jordy's a coach now. He's going to commit fully now. Another guy I found out recently that didn't play for Team Canada recently, but was willing to commit now is Trey Lyles. We get another big man added to Team Canada's roster this summer, and we need more big men on this team with an aging Kelly Olynyk and not a whole lot of beef up there other than Dwight Powell. Trey Lyles will be a great addition to the Team Canada roster for this summer. And he's coached by Jordy in Sacramento right now. So he will definitely probably show up for that team. And Team Canada will be very happy to have him, I'm sure, because they need the bulk. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what Joel does. If he's going to ask for a trade, they're going to try and get him in New York. So that'll be very interesting. Trevor saying, yeah, Nameless, you're so right about that. MSJ saying that Nameless, I like it. I really like the McDaniel move, but help me out. Is Otto back? Doubt and signed. Otto's back. He's on the books already. Otto had a 2-year deal last year, and he's just on our team. He's going to be healthy, and hopefully he's just going to play for us. Now, Jeffrey has not been officially been signed, but it's all in the works. We know Jeff and Ron are going to get signed somehow, some way. But yeah, Jeffrey has not officially signed, but he will be. He will be signed very soon. Iceman's here. Good to see Iceman like Gervin. The Minutes Police. Potential OG Thad Boucher trade for Dame being talked about with Raptors developmental staff. A Lillard trade seems highly unlikely. Raptors staff looking very G League-ish outside of Darko. We can look at these guys and say that these are no names. These are guys that we don't really know. But man, James Wade is a force. I don't think you understand who this James Wade guy is. He's one of these kind of guys where if he comes and talks to you, you feel better about life in general. He's just one of these dudes that has a charm to him and just kind of a way about him that just is really powerful. So I'm going to say that first. Caution, just because these guys are unknown, Iceman, don't diss them yet. Because honestly, that James Wade hire yesterday is huge. It's huge. This guy was the GM running a team in Chicago, the WNBA team, and now he's going to be an assistant coach with us. He knows his stuff. And, I've heard a lot of good things about the character of all these guys. Like the Vin guy from Oklahoma City is a really, really a favorite around players in their organization. He's the kind of coach that players really enjoy being around and listening to and working with. So I know they're unknown, but you know what? That's what we do. We make names famous, and we're going to make some names famous. Darko Rajakovic is the next one. Watch. So yeah, they may seem a little underwhelming, but I get it. Maybe we need a bona fide pro from the NBA, like Vin Baker's on Milwaukee's bench, but we've got 2 Euro pros that are on our bench, James Wade and Bulldozer Batiste. So we'll have to see. We don't really even know these guys' personalities. That's going to be part of the fun too, Iceman, is we're going to get all these halftime interviews with totally new coach personalities. Maybe we get a Tom Sterner. Maybe there's somebody who's got a really crazy personality when we interview him. Like James Wade could be very crazy, really passionate and we're going to come back out there. I don't know. We'll have to see who these guys are, what their personalities are in the halftime. With Savannah and Kayla, those will be fun. Those will be fun to learn the new personalities of our new coach. So we'll have to see. I think the Lillard trade to here is very unlikely. The perception of the Raptors right now is that we're not ready to compete. And this is the whole thing he's trying to escape in Portland. It's very, very evident he wants to go to the Heat. That he's very much narrowed it right on down and said, I just want to go play with Jimmy and Bam. That's what they want. And that's what they're going to try and make happen no matter what. Now, the Heat's going to have to sacrifice a lot. And they're going to be in a really weird position. They're going to be similar to Phoenix, where they have no bench. In fact, all their undrafted guys that they valued and built up into value from nowhere are starting to leave. And they made part of them have to be traded to Portland to get Lillard in Miami. But that is what they want. Lillard wants Miami. He's calling it out straight up. And Bam and Jimmy want it also. So it's probably inevitable that's what's going to happen. It's just the details will have to be sussed out and who's coming back to Portland. I think Tyler Hero is going to be a Blazer next year. Let's just put it that way. That's going to be part of it right there. Now, I'm not worried about us trading for Dame Lillard. If it would have happened already, if it was going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think we're a destination that he wants to go to. He's even said, he was interested in San Antonio, and he has all this respect for that franchise. But I don't think he's actually wants to go to San Antonio with the promise of Victor being there, because that's young. And he wants to be in a core that's veteran, like those guys in Miami. And he won't choose going to San Antonio. Well, he probably won't choose going to Toronto either. So G saying what that YouTuber doesn't understand is with what he's doing, he's creating this target and toxic culture without Fred now taking the brunt of the criticism if Scotty plays point guard and doesn't live up to it. Yeah, who's he going to go after at this point? I know. I mean, seriously. He knows this. It's all by design. Fuck that. He's not that dumb. He's doing this on purpose, y'all. Y'all need to fucking understand who he is and just fucking put him away. Say, fuck this guy. He's not a good person. He's not a person that's for the Raptors, and he's not somebody that Raptors fans should be following. Seriously, they should not. He's very, very toxic. Random Gamers here. Good to see Philly fan. He's crying over Jalen McDaniels. Why? I hope y'all enjoy him. I don't know. I'm not that impressed with this move. I'm not. This doesn't make me feel like or anything. I don't feel like we got one on you guys either. I'm just like, okay, we got Jalen McDaniels. Okay, well, let's see what happens. All right, that's how I kind of feel about it. I'm much more excited about Schroeder. Much, much more excited about Schroeder. G saying expectations these same fans will turn on him. I hope that they do. I really, really hope that the Pensair people start to understand the pattern and just realize how toxic and just negative and how bad he is for our fan nation and just reject him. Y'all just need to do this. And he may fall into more of depression, but it may be a tough lesson he needs to learn. That you don't go, you get what you reap, what you sow. And if you're going to sow negativity and fucked up bullshit, you're going to get that all back. You put that energy out, Robert, you get it back at you. So remember that. That's why I come put out love and understanding and peace and happiness and those kind of things. Yeah, I get upset, I get riled, but it's with good intentions and good reasons and for the right reasons. And you're going to get what you get back at you for what you're doing. And maybe that's why you're so depressed and have a porn addiction, is because you're coping with the feelings of that energy coming back at you because you put it out. You get what you get. You put it out, you get what you get, Robert. Remember that. Seriously. You won't realize why your life's miserable because you put misery out, motherfucker. That's why. Yeah. As above, so below, saying, welcome to the six, Jalen McDaniels. That's right. Thank you, War Lion. Good morning to you. Tom Duke is saying, I also really want to know how Otto is doing. I hate when you spell it that way. I don't know what you mean. Otto. I know you're making a joke about his broken toe last year. Yeah, I want to know how he's doing too. He's coming back, guys. He's going to play for us next year. Watch. Jalen is an exciting pickup. Welcome to the North for sure. Dobro Jutro. Yes, good morning in Serbian from Tom Duke. Thank you, Tom Duke, West Coast Raptor Freak president. Kicking ass in Victoria for the Raptor Freak crew. That's right. You go, Tom. All right, Mike's here. Logical Raptors fanatic in the house. Salute the real ones. Project Truth always. Yes, Mike. An element in this is long-term gain and short-term gain from trading big pieces. Trading DeMar hurt our image, but got the chip. Boston traded Thomas and got nothing. Yeah. There's all kinds of other stories of fails, epic fails all around the league. And, those teams deal with them all the time. Once again, Raptors Nation, we are spoiled with Masai and Bobby. They are such a good front office. Sixers Nation would kill to have a good front office for decades. Seriously, there's a lot of teams that they had a front office they could trust and believe that they are competent and doing a good job. And we have that by far for sure. And y'all are still not fucking happy with this. Y'all don't realize that GMs mostly suck. GMs are horrible at their job usually. There's a very, very small percentage of GMs that are actually kick-ass, good-ass fucking GMs, and we have those right now. So that's why you guys don't want to chuck them out of their jobs, y'all, you fucking idiots, because we have good GMs right now, and the alternatives are worse. Trust me, they're worse. So we don't want to lose one of our best assets is our front office. So shut the fuck up about coming at them with pitchforks and torches right now, Raptors Nation. You really don't understand the sliding scale of GM offices and just where ours sits in the whole realm of the NBA. And that's why y'all need to just get with the program and understand this and stop being casuals and saying, oh, we got to fire Masai for what's happened with our team now. Y'all don't understand. These guys are trying to fix things through chaos and crazy bad shit that's happening. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. Giovanni's here. Good to see the money, man. Giovanni's our CFO, our Chief Financial Officer of the Raptor Free Channel. Let's see what he's saying. OG's likely to be traded, Alexi. Masai just lost Fred for nothing, but would he risk losing OG to a team with a big cap space next year? Masai was burned once already. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I'm not going to predict anything. I don't want OG to go anywhere, so I'm not going to be for this, Giovanni. You may think this is smart sense, but I don't think it is totally. And it's still unclear exactly what OG wants for his future. Once again, we hear the rumor he wants a bigger role. Well, I think that's really likely with Fred's departure that OG's going to get a bigger role next season. So no problem with that. And, we'll have to see how the year goes. We'll have to see if he makes leaps and jumps. We'll see what his value is. We'll see where our cap space is that they've allotted and what they're planning to do. I'm sure they have a plan to try and retain him, just like they did with Fred. But if unforeseen circumstances come up next year, just like what happened with Fred, then something could happen with that. But I don't think it will. I think it's more likely that we'll either do two things. We'll either retain him and pay him what he wants, and he will be a part of our franchise going forward, which is what I would like. Or at the worst, we'll do a sign and trade. I think this situation with Fred this weekend has made people think, like, wow, why didn't we do a sign and trade? Well, that was up to Houston, and they didn't want to. It wasn't a benefit to them. They did do a sign and trade for Dillon Brooks. And a lot of people are saying, well, why did they do a sign and trade for Dillon Brooks then? Well, that benefited them in certain ways to do it with that situation. In some ways, it's like we're watch. They're not going to let this happen again. Trust me, as far as things. This is a very special case that happened this weekend, Giovanni. You being the money man, you understand that Houston was under the clock to spend a bunch of money in this free agency right now. And well, somebody had to get that big bag, and Fred just happened to be the guy who got the windfall. Let's see. And I don't know if that kind of situation will happen next year in some ways like that. It could very well be that everybody's cap's very similar because of the new CBA, and that, anybody you can pay what they're going to pay to him, we would be able to match it considering what we have. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Nako's saying, I don't think now's the time to do a gamble. Yeah, I don't know about what gamble you're alluding to. But I'm perfectly fine with going forward and just trying to do things with what we've got. If they make some tinkering moves and do stuff, that's, well, their educated opinion, and I'll trust it. Shirkan saying, good morning, Rabbit Freak family. I don't know about you guys, but I have a feeling that Masai is brewing something special. Maybe it's Dame or maybe someone else at a lower level with some of the old contracts like Thad, Otto, and Boucher. Yeah, I don't want to trade Boucher. I don't want to trade anybody. I want to talk about this. If they do something, they do something. I will react to it then. But otherwise, nope. Monique saying James Wade news was a surprise for me. Good morning. I found that kind of surprising too, since they're in the middle of the season, right in the middle of the season. And the Sky are kind of competing. They're actually a pretty good team this year. So that's pretty interesting. Tom Duke saying, gotta like the new coaching staff. I like it. They may be no name brand. They may be, people we don't really know, but this is the thing. We don't care about that. We're not going for flash with Darko. We don't want people that everybody knows. We just want people to come in and be good at their jobs. They don't have to be celebrities like Nick. They can be unknowns, but if they're really good at their job, I'm all right with it. That's all that matters. That's what I'm saying. MSJ's asking Random Gamer, hey, is McDaniels a lazy player? Or what's the deal with him? He seemed decent in South Carolina, but then I forgot about him. Seems decent as a bench player, but that's it. Any thoughts? Well, for me, I would say this. He was in Charlotte, and that's why people forgot about him. He was in Charlotte. That's basically it. He was one of the knuckleheads down in Charlotte. And in some ways, his brother being in Minnesota and playing well and being part of their rotation was more on a spotlight than him being in Charlotte. So that's part of it. I think being in Charlotte kind of like hurts your progression as developing as a player in some ways. So that's part of it. And then, he kind of got added on to Philly at the last second last year. And he didn't play a whole lot for Philly last year. So I don't know. Random Gamer, if you want to chime in, please do. As above, so below, saying McDaniels is a move, not saying it's a great move. But at this point, my season rides on Doughton and the rookie, Marquise Noel. This is going to be a foundation season to go forward with. All right, let me go look at the Instagram since you brought up Noel, because he's got some very interesting Instagram stuff this morning. First of all, guys, we got Scotty Barnes. He's doing his Florida Scotty Barnes camp this weekend, and he's saying that the kids taught him how to do the gritty. That's pretty cute stuff. And you can tell Scott just really, really overjoyed and having so much fun doing these camps in Mississauga and down in Florida with the children. He really does love connecting with the kids. In some ways, he is a big kid himself. And, he doesn't trust adults. So like him being around kids is good for his soul. And you can see it in the smile on his face. And, he really makes a huge difference in these kids' lives. It's like you go and meet your hero and you get to be around them and they talk to you and, they're teaching you basketball. That's a big deal. That really means a lot to these children. And as I said, Some of these kids that were in Mississauga last weekend with Scott at his camp, they could be the future of Team Canada basketball. They could be coming up and taking those spots. Now, Freddie has so many posts. He's got all these posts about celebrating him getting the bag. It's disgusting how quickly they've got all these superimposed Rockets jerseys over our Raptors jersey on him. It's just gross. It's just gross. And in some ways, I get it. You got your bag. I celebrate that for you. This is sad, though, Fred. Seriously, you've been a part of our lives for years now, and we really do love you. And when I go through this, when DeMar left, when Jonas left, when Kyle left, when different people leave, you feel it, man. And we're feeling it right now. And I know you're feeling it to a degree, but you've got to scramble and it's a whirlwind. You've got to get ready. You've got a lot of excitement and enthusiasm about changes. But in some ways, I know that pain and that hurt about this. Well, you'll feel it at some time. It may be when you come back. I don't know. But that's the thing. We're feeling it right now, bro. I'm definitely feeling the pain of losing you on our team right now. Seriously, it hurts because you are a family to me in a lot of ways, and this sucks, dude. It sucks, and I hate seeing the Rockets jersey on your chest. It just really makes me sad. But Fred is Fred. He's got to do what he's got to do. He made history. He's doing what he's doing, and that's that. In fact, Fred even posted that thing I was talking about him he's made more money in a change from a team than LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Kyrie Irving. What the fuck is going on with the NBA, y'all? What the fuck is going on in the NBA that Fred did that? Holy crap. Now, Norman had an interesting post for him that I didn't totally like. Norman's weird, man. I don't think he totally respects Toronto and his championship here, and that doesn't suit him. I've warned him about this before when he was talking trash about our team at that time. But like, man, Norman, I don't understand that. What he said is what's understood don't got to be explained. Congratulations, my boy. Now, are you meaning that we love you and that you guys love Toronto and everything's understood about the championship and none of that has to be explained, that we love each other? Or what is it? Are you saying that what's understood don't got to be explained? Are you talking something weird about being in Toronto and leaving? I don't understand this, Norman. It's a little cryptic, and with your past of dissing our championship, man, I don't know how to feel about you as the years go on as far as you being a champion Raptor. Grady, once again, saying thank you to his coach. I said that yesterday. That was from yesterday. He's in Wichita, apparently. He's with his dogs. So Grady is actually in Kansas, getting time back home right now in the middle of summer. All right, let's get to Mr. New York City because this is a really interesting Instagram stuff that I want to check right now. He's got a really cool post to him and Grady and Scotty in Raptors jerseys, although the numbers aren't right. The guy who made the post put him in number 1 and Grady in number 2. We know that Grady's number 1, and you're going to be number 24, Marquise. So your content creators need to get your number right because we know you're going to be 24. This is the thing I really love that he's got Kobe and he's posted Kobe and he's saying consistency of work. So he's got that Mamba mentality showing on there, Marquise Noel on his Instagram. And then he says this is the thing I really love. Now Fred's gone. Marquise Noel has posted on Instagram 10 hours ago last night at midnight. I'm going to make headlines for all the right reasons next season. That's what I like to hear. And then the next post says, I want success bad as ever. I can't lie. That sounds like a dude who's on a mission. That sounds like a Fred VanVleet, the next one coming up, undrafted, ready to take things by storm. This guy may be 5'8". This guy may be counted out, but I have a feeling he's going to come in with such a confidence and such a skill and an aptitude that everybody's going to not be able to deny him. That he's going to have he's going to come right up through our organization, and it could very well be, like I said, he could end up being one of our. I don't necessarily think he'll be a starting point guard. He's definitely going to be in a rotation, I think, by the end of the year, guys. So Noel, don't count him out. He's hungry and he is coming. He is coming. He's warning everybody. He is on his way up. And he's coming for the league. He's going to come and do that. Matt Devlin celebrating Fred, one of the greatest Raptors of all time. Congratulations, Fred VanVleet. Yeah, that's just sad. And then Matt doing a happy Canada Day there with Leo, Jack, and Rod Black on there. There's your Instagram check with the Raptors organization. Yeah, interesting stuff. Noel is ready, guys. He's coming. He's coming. All right, let's see. What else I got to look at? David's here. Good to see David Saborin. I have a helmet. Is it safe to come in? I don't know, David. Name was saying, Gio, you're right. You're about to be schooled, friend. We need to deprogram all your penseration. All right, there's somebody in here.
Oh, Giovanni. Giovanni's not a Pensair person. Giovanni's just a got money guy. He's been coming to my channel since the beginning, and he's always kind of usually commenting afterwards. He's not usually here live with us, but he has spoken to me many times over the last year. And he's very much about the salary cap and thinking about money issues. And I like that to a degree. We need more money, kind of thinking people like him and Mike, but he can be kind of negative, but him and I work all right together. I don't know if he's actually a Pensair person, but I don't mind Gio. Gio's not that bad. If he's a Pensair regular, well, then maybe he does need to be deprogrammed. Guardian Transit's here. Raptors making some moves to get in play for Dame Lillard. Yeah, we'll have to see. I believe it when I see it. Dame's probably not thrilled. Maybe he is. I don't know. Coming here, maybe he is though. Maybe if they can keep Pascal and OG around him, he could see where he could be that last piece that helps Toronto. So we'll have to see. Nameless is telling me some Italian here. Che Caso Pensi Sirio. I have no idea what I said, but I said some Italian just now. Logical saying Masai handling players well matters for future players coming. If Masai does right by the guys that deserve it, we attract more players. Who's going to be a loyal and sacrifice for an OG that's cutthroat or an organization's cutthroat? Yeah. In some ways, there are reputations for each team around the league, and some teams will they trade you or cut you, and they're really cold and heartless about it. It seems like Minnesota's like that, doing what they did to Tarion Prince this weekend. So yeah, I agree with this. It does matter what your reputation is with how you handle the players. The players talk to each other, and they know which organizations do people right, and that's a symbol of us doing it people right is players like Gary Trent and other people saying this organization's run really well and really professional. That's usually the sign. Now, Charlotte, I don't know how professional they're running things down there. It doesn't seem like they are. Let's say that. Seymour saying, I'm all in with this team. Let's go, Raptors. That's right. Seymour Pape, a real one, a Raptor freak, true and true, a real one that ride or dies with the Toronto Raptors no matter what. We're gonna lose this year. Well, we ride with them. We're gonna win a lot this year, which is what I'm hoping. I think we will. We will ride with them. It doesn't matter. We're not casuals. We're not fucking people that turn that game off if the team is not doing well. We watch every single game, the whole entire season, even if they're in a bad losing streak or things are not going right. We are real ones, and we are there. Seymour Pape is one of them. That's right. G saying, random seems a lot of bench pieces are leaving the Sixers. Yang too. Maybe they're trading Harden for a bunch of pieces instead of one main piece. But it seems fans are not happy right now. Yeah, the Sixers Nation, for being so celebratory about Nick Nurse, there's a lot of uncertainty with their team right now. James Harden is always that factor. As long as you have him around, he's going to fuck y'all up in that way. Well, you got to get rid of him. He's told you he's got to get traded. You got to figure it out. The trade market for him may be really weird and difficult. There may be very few teams that actually want James. And then trying to figure out how it would line up with money and assets in a way that is attractive to the two teams, that may be very, very, very difficult. James has done something where he's demanded a trade from 3 different teams over 2.5 years. That is an insane track record. So forgive any other teams around the league trying to stay the fuck away from James Harden, Sixers, because in some ways y'all may have him still on your team. You may not be able to move him this summer, and he may sit out on y'all. That's the craziest thing. Y'all will have Ben Simmons sit out on y'all's ass, and then this year James Harden will sit out because he will not play for Nick Nurse. Seriously, I could see this happening. They can't make the deal right for James for the other side, and they don't get what they want coming for James. He fucking sit out. He won't play for Nick. Watch. He may show up and kind of act like he'll play, but he'll sit. And he'll be like, oh, I'm injured. I can't play, guys. It's something like that. I'll bet you that flaky shit will happen with him. And, Sixers thought things were so good and great getting Nick Nurse. Well, you still have dumpster fires around your team. James Harden is a huge dumpster fire. Yeah, I was really surprised to hear that they're letting go of Shake Milton and Niang and a couple other players are gone out. The interesting news out of Sixers camp is Nick Nurse is actually teaching Jaden Springer some things in practice. And he's like, I have not had this in my whole entire NBA career. What the fuck was Doc doing then? Nick shows up and he's actually coaching them. And Sixers players are saying, I haven't had this kind of instruction ever. Like that, what the fuck was going on there? Seriously. Giovanni's saying that Nameless, the angry Serb doesn't want OG traded. I'm telling you, I don't think Masai risks losing OG for nothing to a huge cap team offering a big bag they can't match next summer. See, Giovanni's fair in some ways. He's very money oriented. I know that about him. I'm agree with this too. I think OG's such a valuable player that we still have no reason to trade him. And I think the rumor this weekend that we want 10 first round picks for him is probably real. And I'm all about it. This is why I love Bobby. It's like, yeah, tell those motherfuckers you got to send us 10 first round picks if you want OG Anunoby. The price has gone up, bitch. Yeah, it was 5 first round picks maybe 6 months ago. Now it's 10, motherfuckers. Yeah. That's what I would want. We got to fucking like get everything we can from them if we're going to trade OG. That's what I'm saying. Randolph Phillips is here. Sunday blessings, beloved Raptor freaks, most informative gang. Good morning to all. Let's hope that the front office can work their magic and get us more to strengthen our team. Yes, Randolph Phillips, great blessing this morning. And I am totally with you. Please bless Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster with all the great acumen, opportunities, and decision-making to make this Raptors team as best as possible going into the next season. And whatever they got to do, we trust in them, and we will see how it all goes down. And in some ways, I don't want to question them until we see what happens with the results on the court. And everybody needs to just give them a chance. This is one of those times where you don't go after the front office right now. They got to do their work. You go after them like down the road if the team is not successful in certain ways. But really, in some ways, you shouldn't go after them at all, because the whole journey of an NBA team and franchise to a championship, just like the Nuggets, is an odyssey of ups and downs, success and failure. And sometimes, you don't want to throw out your really good stuff just because you think you see failure, whereas it's just this normal ups and downs of like success and failure, wins and losses. It's always going to be that way. There's nothing perfect. And if you have something that's really, really good and not close to perfect, why would you scrap that? That's what I'm saying. Monique saying, I'm still laughing out loud at Dylan the Rockets. Yeah, Monique thinks this is hilarious that Dylan Brooks got paid $80 million over 4 years, $20 million a year to play for the Houston Rockets. And he will be lining up next to Fred. That's an interesting little combo. Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet for the Houston Rockets. That's going to be very interesting. In some ways, I know that they're okay with each other and they're cool with each other. But in some ways, I got to understand I got to see how this Dylan Brooks personality is going to work around the young Rockets on that team in some ways also. I don't know. I think the Rockets are going to have some weird problems this year with Udoka, Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet. So weird. So fucking weird. The Rockets all of a sudden are so fucking weird. G's saying there's a camp of fans wanting to trade Scotty in a package for Dame so he can join Scoot in Portland. Shaking my head. Did Dame say he will only play for Miami? I think he did. He did just say that. What? Who are these fans? Are these Portland fans or are these Raptors fans that are Scotty fans? This is where their motives are. They want to see the alliterative pairing of Scotty and Scoot so bad they'll trade Scotty to Portland just to have Scoot and Scotty together. These motherfucking kindergarten fucks think that it's just fun to have fun rhymey names, and that's why you want to put people together. It's not necessarily whether they'd be good players together. It's just because their names sound similar. What the fuck are you, 5, 6 years old? You fucking idiots. Seriously? And you're willing to give up Scott for an alliterative joke? Yeah, these aren't fans. Anybody who's talking about trading Scotty, trading Pascal, trading OG, fuck you. You're not a Raptors fan. Seriously. And that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Seriously, G. The Scotty fans are weird, man. I mean, I consider myself a Scotty fan, but I'm a Raptors fan too, and more a Raptors fan than a Scotty fan. But like, this is ridiculous, y'all. I love Scotty. I want Scotty to be a Raptor forever. And y'all are willing to trade him to Portland just so he can be next to Henderson? Y'all are weirdos. And you're fucked up Raptor fans that are suggesting this. If you are Raptor fans, if you're a Portland fan, I understand why you're saying it. MSJ saying that Giovanni, OG will be given a shot at being the second option on offense this year. If he can do it, he will re-sign with us. Perhaps they trade Pascal. We have to hope this new team wins and players want to stay. Man, I am sick of this. Y'all stop being pessimistic. Let's just go ahead and just do this. We kick some ass and everything will work out all right. Let's not forecast bad shit. Let's not talk about players leaving. We've had so much loss already this summer with Nick and Fred going. That's 2 huge brains in our brain trust and things that we do on the court. This is going to be weird without them, but we have new brains in those spots. And hopefully we have a really good success anyway. let's not making predictions or knee-jerk reactions about moves we need to make further. If they make moves further, then we understand. We'll talk about them. But otherwise, let's just go on the hope that we're going to kick ass this year and have a lot of success, and everything's going to be fine. Guardian saying Raptors getting Dame sets the team up as potential powerhouse for the next several years. If this happens, yeah, I can agree with this to a degree. It depends on how much is going back the other way in some ways. But if this happens, you could. But I don't know if Dame wants it, and I don't know how realistic it actually is. I really don't know how realistic it is. Monique saying, "Welcome, Jalen McDaniels. Let's fucking go." I had to look up his brother though. Jaden's the more famous one, Monique, and he's the one who's had more success. But we want to see if Jalen can get unlocked here to a certain degree and maybe be as good as his brother in Minnesota or even better. We'll have to see. That they're cousin of Juwan Howard. So that means that the McDaniels brothers are actually cousins with Jet Howard, also the rookie coming in to play for the Orlando Magic. So, yeah, they're all family. So the McDaniels are related to the Howards, just so you know. Gio saying at MSJ, the angry Serb wants to trade. Okay, I read that one already. It's like a repeat. As above, so below. Warline. Portland isn't that where people go to die? Laughing my fucking ass off. Only thing in Portland is Dame Lillard and a bunch of zombies. I feel bad about that. I don't like painting franchises like this, but I get it. It does seem like the way they've ran things, they've had problems with really bad people in front office in recent years. Yeah, they've had trouble. It's tough to win in the Pacific Division. Portland Trailblazers have always had trouble with the Lakers and the Warriors and Phoenix and San Antonio and those different kind of teams around the West. And they've had pretty good success at different times. I mean, I can remember the Drexler, Porter, Kersey days. Man, I feel bad because I like Portland's team. I like the franchise. I have friends that are big Trailblazer fans, so I don't like hating on them. They're a team that's maligned and kind of a secondary team like Milwaukee and kind of like us that I don't like dumping on in some ways. So I don't know if that's nice. Portlandia is a great show. G saying doubt they trade Pascal. Jakob just signed, and Pascal is their best player. OG has not proven himself to even be a great second option yet. Love OG, but he needs to prove himself too. Yeah, well, I will disagree with this to a degree, G. He's shown signs that he is very much not only just a second option, he can be the first option. He had that 36 in New York. He's had a couple games in the last 2 years where he's been absolutely our best player. So I fully expect him to fill more of, if anybody on the team is going to take more of a step up, it is OG because he's more ready to do it solidly on a consistent basis. And without Fred, we're going to need somebody to step up and be more in that mentality. OG, you say you want more of a bigger role. Well, part of it is up here, bro. You got to start really wanting it and looking for it in the game. And I know you've been working on that in the last couple of years, and you've shown good promise. And I think you'll continue with that. So a lot of it is on you, OG. You got to do it, bro. He's exactly right when he says you got to prove it yourself. MSJ saying, Lex, you knocked it out of the park. Our team could be BS right now. Front office moves were calm, and we look forward to a decent season. Also, no chance Dame comes here. A baseless, nutty idea by nutty people. Yeah, I tend to agree with that last statement that you're saying. That's the thing. When you have adversity like Tampa season and different things like that, it's real easy to make it even worse by making mistakes in gut reactions, overreacting, or, not staying calm. As MSJ said, you get stressed out and you make a move just for the sake of making a move because you feel like you have to. Well, these guys aren't doing that. Very, very smart and calculated and trying to use positions of power and leverage in a lot of the decisions that they're doing. And if it doesn't benefit them, it's kind of like the statement they say when you don't make big decisions when you're very upset or you're very happy. You have to be very even keeled. And that's really kind of the way that they operate. We had a lot of bad stuff happen. Well, they don't react in like pain or like a bad way. They react in a very smart, sound way to like rectify something like Dennis Schroeder 2 days ago. That's a good quick reaction. But otherwise, they're not freaking out and making knee-jerk reactions due to things that are happening that actually make things even worse. That's one of the biggest problems with GMs is that when they're in a bad place, they'll try and fix things quickly, but they actually make it worse because they make a bad move on top of the bad situation they've already been in. So that's another thing that I would put forward to Raptors Nation about why we should value our front office. They weather very bad situations that have not been ideal, and they don't make knee-jerk reactions that make it even worse. And that's exactly what MSJ is saying. He's exactly right. Giovanni's saying at Nameless, it's because you are not a GM thinking ahead. OG can be poached by a huge cap team when he's an unrestricted free agent with a big bag. Not thinking ahead at the possibility of being naive. More teams want OG. Yeah, well, this is all true. But once again, Masai really loves OG. And he's probably got this all figured out, Giovanni. You being a money guy, they're money guys too. And they have a whole plan of like where the guys are going to land and how much. And now that they have the CBA, this is the other thing. The CBA kind of caught everybody off guard. Now they know the rules of how to play. It's almost like they all sat down at the table to play Monopoly, but the rule book hadn't been given to them. And then they sat down and like, here's the new rule book on how you're going to play Monopoly now. Oh shit, I better read the rules really fast and I'll adjust the team to it. Well, the unknown of the CBA until now, that's really kind of a big change because it completely changes all the rules of the game. And now that they know the rules of the game going forward with this new CBA that's in place now, they can forecast better the specifics of the exact amount of money that they got to have for OG to land him in this situation, Giovanni. So in some ways, they now have the information to get this all calculated and figured out and try and land him right. Trust in Messiah. That's all I'm going to say, Giovanni. If the paths cross where we got to go apart from other different Raptors players, well, we got to trust that these are the decisions that need to be made at the right times. Very much like the first half hour of my stream today, talking about how our team was dismantled from the championship year. That's the thing. We just got to trust that Masai is going to make the best of each given situation and what he can do. And you know what you're saying is very much like they're probably thinking this very thoroughly through, Giovanni. I trust the Masai in that way. It's not like they're going to be what you're saying, like us, naive and be passive and just like, oh my gosh, we forgot about this deadline. Oh my gosh, we forgot about freeing up this room so that we can make sure we get Anunoby assigned this summer. No, they got it all planned and figured out. I trust them for that. Mike's saying we got Fred for no assets, got tons of great play out of him, and now he left for nothing. Sounds like we gained the most important part, the cheap, great play. You don't need to get assets for every guy. Bam. Hitting out of the park, Mike. Hit it out of the park with that one right there. That's the whole thing. This is the thing. The price for what they're going to get for Fred on that pay scale and the output is not going to be very efficient or good for what the value that we got from Fred over the years here. And Mike's exactly right. In some ways, listen, when guys get to where Fred is at, they're getting overpaid. We all know Fred's getting overpaid right now. He's not worth that money completely. In some ways, it's just because Houston had to spend some money. So in some ways, that's bad management by Houston, getting him for that price. And it's good management by us not taking him on a price like that. And a lot of the Fred haters are saying this. And a lot of other people that are just Raptors fans are saying, well, I'm kind of glad we're not paying Fred that much money right now. Seriously, that's the side of it too. So it's like Mike said, we got the time accrued and earned from the time before and at that value on that price. Well, what is Houston going to get for him at the value at the price they got him at now? Think about that seriously. And once again, I think we're going to be saying, just like we say about Kawhi, we dodged a bullet by not having Kawhi on our team anymore after the championship year because of his injuries, because of all the other bullshit around Kawhi. Yeah, we dodged a bullet. And I very well will predict we dodge a bullet with Fred also this weekend. That in the next 2 years, we're going to realize, wow, we dodged a bullet not keeping Fred that summer. And him going to Houston actually really worked out right. I could see that happening. G saying Dame will want to play with Pascal, proven chip starter and second option with Kawhi. Scotty isn't there yet. If he didn't want Scoot, why Scotty? Now this is the new divide, old and young. Well, I get it. Lillard's on the clock. He's not got many years left. He doesn't want to waste his time. He really doesn't want to go to a good situation. He really sees it as Miami. Now, fire truck. Now, if we can make we're more attracted to him because of Siakam and our level, he's smart. He could probably see the Raptors roster and his addition. If, we send certain things away the other way to them. I don't want to name anybody or anything. And you can see still with him added to it that we're a really good team, that we can contend for a championship. Then I could see that Lillard move happening with us. But I don't think it's likely. I think that it is very much he's going to go to be a Miami Heat this year, somehow, some way. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let's see. MSJ saying at G, it never ends. Laugh out loud. Baseless imagined ideas to set up an argument that when we don't get Dame, a ridiculous idea, the front office can then be said to be incompetent. Laugh out loud. Idiocy. Closest genius move. I know this is the ridiculous thing. That's how you know there are agents of chaos, because the noise doesn't ever stop. They just come up with creative new ideas to complain and be negative and worry about this or slight us. It's all perception. Once again, the glass on the table has half water in it. You can either say it's half full or half empty. If you want to say it's half empty all the time, you're fucking negative, pessimist motherfucker. This is not even a deal that actually could legitimately happen. It's like the whole thing with Jordan Poole for OG last week. Who's upset about that? Who's upset about that? I'm not. I don't want Jordan Poole. I much more value OG Anunoby, but some Raptor fans are calling it as a fail. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't have any credibility if you think Jordan Poole's a better player than OG Anunoby. I'm sorry. Once you say that you value Jordan Poole over OG Anunoby, I stop, pause. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You have nothing to give to me once you say that. Seriously. All right, let's see. Raps Love is saying, are you people worrying about a point guard? Be prepared for a trade. Why do you call us you people? That really makes me suspicious of you, Raps Love. Because seriously, you should be us. You shouldn't be you people. You're one of us, right? See, you can betray yourself and who you are. Like, are you a Raptors fan? Or are you fucking fake, acting like you people? Because when you say you people, you're talking to Raptors fans. Are you not one of us? Seriously, I'm going to fucking give you a strike just because I think you just showed yourself. Because very much that language tells me you're a fan of another nation, impersonating as somebody and saying your same Raps Love. Maybe you can explain yourself real quick, because I'm sussing you out as not being who you are, and that you just use that name. Are you people worrying about a point guard? Be prepared for a trade. Well, we got Dennis Schroeder. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm not going to tell them what to do. I don't care. They make a trade, I'll react to it. Otherwise, I don't care. Tom Duke saying, I'm liking the new roster already. Run it back with Fred's money spent on others. Yeah, there you go. Tom's looking at the bright side. The glass is half full in Tom's world. I like that. David's saying, we have more point guards than we know what to do with. Go back to Philly. Yeah, see, I'm wondering, David's sussing this out too. He's saying the same damn thing to Raps Love. Raps Love, are you a real Raptor fan? Are you some fucked up weird troll using the name Raps Love on YouTube? I'm wondering about you, man. I'm suspicious on you now. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, us people don't worry about much. That's right. See, who's like you people? What is that, you people? What does that mean? What does you people mean, Raps Love? G saying at MSJ, yep. What they don't understand is if Dame was to come here, he is not. He doesn't want to play with young, inexperienced players, or would stay with Portland. He would want Pascal and OG. Clickbait. That's the whole thing. He wants to go to a veteran core that's trying to win right now. And if we're going to be that, we got to keep all the old guys, Jakob, OG, Pascal. So it would really have to be something like we trade one of our young, really good assets, like a Precious, not a Scotty. We're not trading him. So it'd have to be something crazy. It wouldn't line up. First of all, it wouldn't line up. And that's part of the problem too, is Dame wants to line up his money with another team. That means usually a vet's got to come the other way, but he wants vets on his team. So it's kind of like, how do you do this? So Miami's got to scrap all their mid career players like Tyler Hero and whoever, and scrape together a package to go to them. I'm even hearing that the Lillard package may include Nurkic, because Nurkic and him may be better to even things out for what they want to try and do. It's very, very interesting. Keep an eye on Dame Lillard. He is going to move for sure. And I think it will be Miami. Miami will figure it out. Pat Riley will make this happen. Watch, somehow, some way. All right, let's keep going. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Streaks. Bam, let's go, Raptors. I agree. Tom liking the roster too. Yeah, listen, give everybody a chance. We got new players. We got Grady Dick. We got Marquise Noel. We got Dennis Schroeder. We got Jalen McDaniels. We've got some new players. We're going to have to see how they work with our team. And we even get Otto Porter Jr. back. That's another new player in a lot of ways. So Click saying, Masai and Bobby don't trade Pascal, or Pascal leaves for nothing next season. It's time to fire them. Pascal needs to prove this year that he's actually the guy, because if he's not, then don't pay him the supermax. Yeah, all right, Click. You're really walking that tightrope. You've already been kind of like sussed. You're going after Pascal once again, and this is very much Pensair bullshit. And once again, you've been called a Pensairite in the last couple of days. So really tread softly with your hard stance on Pascal right now. And know that even though you're an original, I'm fucking watching you right now. You and Raps Love are both on a watch list. And fuck, I might kick y'all out of my channel soon. Watch, seriously. Listen, all right, I'm going to try and be fair with what you're saying. Fuck. You didn't just listen to Pascal. Like, once again, he said that if you trade me, I don't want to sign a max with another team because I really want to stay in Toronto. So I think the likeliness of what you're saying, even though this thing happened with Fred, once again, I said this situation with Fred this year is unique. This is a very unique situation with Fred and Houston having so much money to outbid us. Other teams may not be able to outbid us, and will have its situation a certain way with Pascal. As far as you saying if he can't prove something this year, fuck you. You can't fucking say he hasn't proved shit. Because you motherfucker, he's come back from the bubble season harder than ever. He took our criticism and our bullshit from people like you at that time, and he has made it so that he never has a day off. He works every fucking day at this point because of the pain and the suffering he got from Raptors fans being mean to him about him fucking taking this time off during the pandemic and then the bubble outcome. So yeah, no, he ain't doing that. He's continuing to prove, and he is going to rise up and do just as well. He's done very well. In fact, he already does an adequate level. The way you describe him is not accurate. He is a fucking top 10 player in this league. He has stats that only Luka, LeBron, and certain people have. So you're miscalculating what he's doing already right now. And you're just coming from a negative. You know what? Fuck this. You're going to be a casualty right now. Fuck you. You're out of this fucking channel, Click. I don't care. You are suspicious to me right now. And any kind of Panzer lines are fucking out right now. I don't give a shit if you've been here for the beginning. I don't give a shit if you're somebody I've said I've valued. I don't value you anymore because your record is broken and you're fucking falling a fucking idiot. So just fuck right off, Click. I'm done with you, bro. I'm done with you. Kareem said, Masai sent Delano a text. You up. All right. I hope that happens. Seriously. I want to hear that today. David's saying, oh, okay. And G saying he only qualifies for the Supermax if he makes all NBA. If he makes all NBA, chances are the team is benefiting from that too. G with a good established take on Pascal's situation. Thank you, G, for that palate cleanser, the fucking idiot. Seriously, Click. I'm done with you, bro. You might be Robert for all I fucking know right now. Mo's saying, I love the 2 new challenges by the NBA recently. Yeah, the new changes of the CBA are bringing the flopping rule, fantastic, and then the extra challenge if you're successful with your first challenge. 2 great changes for the game, ever evolving the NBA. Thank you, Monique. Mike's saying everyone pushed Fred out the door, but acting like a team took him now, and that's the reason to trade everyone, and not the previous reason of we're mid. The logic changes a lot. Keep the same energy. Yeah, fuck these people. They come in here. They're not going to be able to be here for very long. Raps Love, you tread lightly right now. Click's gone. Click is gone. He's done. He's done. I don't give a shit. You can fucking fuck off, Click. I'll see you in other Raptors places, and I'll say, you fucking Pensairite. Fuck. That's what I'm going to say. You might be Robert for all I fucking know. Somebody's telling me that. People are saying you're fucking Robert Misovich on a burner account, Click. So, I'm going to start believing that because, you're acting like it. Seriously. Why are you going so hard after Pascal 2 days in a row like that? Seriously, that's not necessary at all. It's really not fucking necessary. And that's the last face on there. It seems like that's what it is. You want to get the job done. That's what you're doing. You want to get the absolute last fucking active champion on our team off the team. You want to finish the job, you motherfucker? Yeah, fuck you. Get the fuck out is what I'll say right now. It's Sunday. I know. All right, let's keep going. Cowboy saying, I watched To The Point. Good job, like always, Lex. Thanks, Cowboy. Thanks for giving a watch and a follow to The Point with the King. Great Raptors channel with great Raptors content. So check out Brian's channel and my appearance on it. Thank you, Cowboy, for giving the support and coming and watching it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, let's see what Raps Love's saying now here. Let's see if we can redeem things. We have to give Pascal Siakam the max. We have to show the NBA Toronto will spend money. We keep giving people cheap contracts and think we're going to get players to come here. I agree with this. I like this statement. Raps Love has redeemed himself with this one. That makes sense. I think he's right. I think we do that anyway, but we're going to do that with specific guys coming up. And it's going to be Scotty and hopefully Pascal. We'll see. Scotty for sure. All right. Raps Love. You're redeeming yourself on that one. All right. You're even now. MSJ saying, I also don't get that we lost Fred for nothing. We got 130 million back, and it will let us make moves to get stuff back in the future, like the eventual re-sign of OG. Very excited for OG now. Yeah. Fred leaving actually helps us re-sign Gary. We kept Thad because of it. We can probably get Delano back because of it. There's so much other people that we can figure out with this. And once again, the cap space will be helpful in the later to like sign free agents next year. So, they want to just paint things in a negative light. It's a perception thing. They're trying to come at it in the negative way. And I'm telling you, it's either the negative perception of hockey fans in Toronto that are very pessimistic because the Leafs abuse of them. It's also the whole idea that hockey heads have a certain idea of how to do things in hockey land as far as firing people and bringing new people in and stuff like that. That's why they're so quick to do this shit, is because the NHL is like that. They change their fucking coaches and GMs like underwear. Well, this ain't the fucking NHL, hockey heads. Stop trying to tell the Raptors how to run their team like you're fucking NHL. Seriously, we ain't got nothing to do with how hockey runs things. If you have hockey logic involved in your basketball GM logic, just get the fuck out. You don't know anything about basketball. It's two different sports, two different kinds of things. And you may do something in hockey world that makes sense in GM world there that does not make any fucking sense with this. So people that are primarily hockey fans and know hockey and they know how to deal with hockey, don't tell us how to run the fucking Raptors, you fucking idiots. I'm going to tell you right now, because that's part of where it comes from too. Is it the jadedness, the pessimism of Leafs Nation and the way they brand that organization is part of the reason why we have problems with this, is because the Leafs have been dysfunctional partly because their fans demand so much all the time. So it's the same fucking dumbass people. They're Leaf fans that do the same thing to the fucking Leafs team, and they're trying to do it to the Raptors team because it's Toronto, baby, and we're Toronto sports fans, and we're fucking dumbasses is what it is. Jaded, pessimistic idiots. So please, hockey heads, don't tell me how to run my team, because I don't fucking tell you how to run the Leafs. I don't give a shit about them. So please, maybe you could not give a shit about the Raptors. I'd be fine with that. Seriously. You want to pay attention to them, be a casual, that's fine. But don't get in depth and try and tell us how to run the team, because you're giving us hockey advice. And it doesn't apply to basketball, you fucking idiots. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, let's keep going. Isaac's got a great Raptor 5 lineup. I like that. Jimmy Pope's saying exactly, MSJ. Not to mention we get to extend Gary Trent Jr. and sign at other pieces for depth. People are acting like the sky's falling, but we're all right. Trust. Well, anything that happens, they want to spin it in a negative towards us. If it's the U.S. media, it's the hockey media, it's jaded hockey fans that are also Raptor fans. They're all fucking doing this. Trolls from other teams that come in here. All of them are trying to make negative light on whatever the Raptors do. And everything in the world that you do, you can look at it as either positive or negative. Like me having this puppet. I could say this is a positive on my channel because people enjoy being entertained by Justin Bieber. But also some people may be like, no, that's stupid. It's immature and dumb. It's all how you want to look at it. It's perspective. And people choose to look at things in a negative perspective mindset. They have a negative mindset and they're fucking miserable fucks. And that's half the reason why they look at everything so negatively, is because they have negative mindsets. So I challenge people in Toronto that are sports fans to switch to a positive mindset and see how much glorious and beautiful life can be. Because in some ways, you see the dark that you see. You may see a gloomy day outside. I may see a beautiful gray sky. And it's all how you look at it. So how about that? Boom. How about them apples? Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Jimmy, thank you for the comment. You're exactly right. The move of Fred this weekend allows for a lot of flexibility and opportunities in the future with our money. And I love it. Cowboys saying, hope we extend OG. Let's go. Yes, I think that's a priority, and I hope so. Monique saying, no one can top off what the 2019 team did. Don't fucking say shit like that, Monique. No, all due respect. Don't ever say that. We need to do better. You don't make it fatalistic. Like people say, oh, that's the greatest championship parade we'll ever have in Toronto. Fuck that. I want to have a second one that's even better. I want to have a championship and down the road that's even better, Monique. Don't limit our mindset with this. Seriously, you can have a negative mindset and you can have a limited mindset. And don't limit our team, because that's another way it hurts us. Everybody said, oh, the Raptors got a championship. They'll never get a championship ever again. That's limited mindset. We can't do that. And we even got to look at our speech and when we say shit. Like, I don't say our championship, I say our first championship, because you can shape your destiny with your own mindset and your words. So don't ever say our championship. Don't ever say that. No one can ever top off our 2019 team. No, fuck that. We got to go get better. We got to. And Masai said it himself. To legitimize our first championship, we need to get a second one. So watch your wording, Monique. I caution you, because in some ways you guide yourself with a limited belief in just in your word speech. And no one can top off what that 2019 team did. No, don't say that, because you put a ceiling on us when you say that. It's in your mentality and how you think about it. You go and say, we're going to get a better one than that one, Monique. That's what you say. That's what you say. I love you. All right, let's see. Top saying, I think another trade is coming. The Thad contract could have been cut to save money, but they picked it up for the trade, I believe. Could be. And it could be trade fodder. Top's been a little dubious lately, but this is an on-point comment, and it's exactly right. I think that is part of it. That they lose an asset just by cutting him, and because Fred opened it up, it saved Thad's bacon. He would have been cut if Fred had come back, but because Fred didn't, it allowed for the opportunity that Thaddeus is still on our roster. But I think he possibly could very well be traded or even waived by the end of the season still. Even though we have him on that money, we could just pay him and waive him and then have a new roster person in instead. So we'll have to see how it all works out. Top, I appreciate a very constructive comment this morning. I do. Giovanni saying at Cowboy, OG won't extend as he can make a lot more next summer by opting out and being an unrestricted free agent. He makes too little and under market value. And if he extends this October, this is why he won't extend. Well, we'll have to see how it all works out. Let's not be so pessimistic. Once again, I'm talking about glass half full, glass half empty shit. Well, you're being a pessimist, Giovanni, and we're optimists here. And I'm not about that. All right. We'll see how it all works out. You're kind of saying things before they've even happened. And this is how you perceive it. Maybe you think that way. Well, we don't know how OG thinks. OG's a different person than us. And his mindset and what he thinks and what matters to him may be a lot different than what we think. So let's not go there. G saying, Raps love. That's a good point. Star free agents do not come here. It's just reality, and that's fine. But if we also show we are cheap plus taxes, why would anyone even entertain us in the future? Yeah, I don't know if that's totally true. In some ways, like with Fred this weekend, we see nobody really wants to go play for Rockets, but the money speaks volumes. So it's really, if the money's available, people will go to different places. It doesn't matter where they are and reputations and stuff like that. It's opportunity knocks kind of situations. So I don't believe this kind of shit. Every single team in the league can be attractive or unattractive depending on what they have to offer the person. So it just happens to be that we've ran a certain way that we don't try and build that way because we couldn't earlier on, but now we can probably. We can. That may have been true like for most of the history of the Raptors franchise, that we can't lure high-end free agents to the city of Toronto, but I don't think that's true anymore. And we could test that if we have a big, huge like piece of our free salary cap available, like we will next year possibly. And we could probably test that. But we value developing within from the guys we pick. And we're not trying to go get somebody like Lillard and just save ourselves or anything like that. So that there's a little bit of a difference in seeing that also in the way we see things. It's not really a philosophy of the Raptors to rely on a big home run free agency signing. That's never been a case. And in some ways, that's good that we're able to do things without having to do that. Now, when we do something like that, that could be a major seismic kind of move. And it will probably make a lot of sense if that happens. I wouldn't worry about like the stuff you're worried about there, G, either. The myths about not wanting to play in Toronto are bullshit. And the fans, the players have come out and made it very clear they love Toronto. They love playing here. And Dennis Schroeder's reaction to getting signed by us is an epitome of what the common average Raptor, a common average NBA player reacts to coming to Toronto is like that now. Not very many of them are like anti-Toronto or not wanting to come to Canada anymore. That may have been the case around when Chris Bouchard was talking to players and saying what he said last year, but that's not the case anymore. And it hasn't been for a while. It really, really hasn't. And I don't think these factors of what you guys are saying is exactly right. In fact, it may be that we have a lot more of a reputation of not screwing people over than most of the GMs and franchises around the NBA. So our reputation is probably pretty good with this already. And, but it is, you want to do upkeep it and do things right and operate right on a day-to-day basis so that it stays that way for sure. MSJ saying at Jimmy Pope, yeah, Gary Trent Jr. will be back. I'm also excited to see Grady Dick and McDaniels with Doughton in the middle. Two long dudes that can shoot. And again, the front office solved three issues: get a center, shooter, and a point guard. A plus. There you go. MSJ's saying, look, he's giving them grades. A plus. The front office. I love it. I love it. So much negative noise out there. Hearing praise for our front office right now is great, and needs to be more of it. Sometimes the negative voices are the loudest out there. Sometimes the positive voices need to step up and be loud also, just for that balance and the war of perception. That's the thing. There may be like a whole bunch of people down degrading Masai and Bobby right now. We need a bunch of people praising them also, just like I did today. And thank you, MSJ. Mike saying Siakam was never not getting a max. He's an all NBA talent. Fred was a good player, but not a max guy. I can totally agree with this. And the fact that he makes more than Pascal right now is crazy. OG at the moment is a bit higher than Fred, but not max yet. Scotty will probably be the second max, but we will spend. Once again, these guys are the qualified guys that make these decisions. You guys are ahead of yourselves. We're present moment right now. We go in this third day of free agency. We go from wherever we're going. Don't get so far ahead that we're worrying about next summer already. Don't get far ahead worrying about extensions already. Let's just take it day by day and stay present, Raptors fans. Y'all get so anxious. You want to plan the future for the Raptors ahead of time. Well, we got two guys that do that job, and their names are Masai and Bobby, and we should just let them do their job, is what I'm saying. Cowboy is saying, I'm excited about this whole team. Can't wait for the Raptors' first game with you, Cowboy. Totally, Bradley. Nameless is saying, do you really think Team USA can beat Team World? I don't think so. That's cool. That's a cool question. About the All-Star game, Team USA versus it's going to be pretty even. It'll be pretty even. I don't know. I would be rooting for Team World, of course. So I would like to see Team World beat Team USA, but we'll have to see. We don't know. We don't know for sure. We don't know. We have to see who gets it first and who's available as far as who's injured or not. So Top saying we now have tons of forwards, but lack shooting apart from Gary and Grady. I think the Raps will trade some forward depth, i.e. Boucher, to get another legit point guard or guard shooter. Yeah, you keep bringing up Boucher as a trade person. You said this yesterday too. I am keeping track, just so you know. Fuck that. We don't want to trade Boucher. Maybe you're going after Boucher and other people are going after Pascal. And then other people are going after OG. Every motherfucker who's got a ring. It's like y'all have to want to eradicate the history of our 2019 NBA champion Toronto Raptors and get every single motherfucker connected with it away from us. Is this the mission of your fucking little group of people? We got to get rid of Pascal now for sure. Y'all keep working on OG too. Yeah, OG's close too, man. Yeah, we did really good with Fred this year. Let's fuck them up too. And yeah, Chris, we could even get Chris just for the end of it, because he's got a ring with them too. Every single Raptors that's got a ring, I want them away from their team. So we eradicate that horrible memory of them winning that championship that year. See, this is what these bitter fucks are like. Top. Are you like that? Did I just do an impression of you? Is this your true self? Not the person who's writing the words. This is how you actually feel on the other side, is what I just did. Because I feel like that sometimes with you guys. You want to get rid of our champions one by one. You motherfuckers. Seriously, I'm sick of this shit. Don't talk about trading Chris. Don't talk about trading OG. Don't talk about trading Pascal Siakam. You will get on my bad side real quick. Nameless is saying Jalen McDaniels can really fire the tray, by the way. Just saying. I've heard he's not that great at three-point shooting. I've heard he's a 33% shooter before he got to Philly, and then he shot like 40% for them last year. So, okay, if he can hit some threes, that'd be good. Seymour thinks McDaniels is a great move. I like that. KSM, good morning. You have retracted your message. I hope you'll say some more. G saying Otto could be a good shooter if he's stable enough. If he's healthy, we just need him healthy. Jalen's splits are 48, 40, 82. Okay, so 48% field goal, 40% threes, and 82% free throw shooter. That's pretty good shooting overall. They are saying he's a bad shooter, though. I don't want to say. Those are good splits. It's on low volume, mind you, but those splits are actually fantastic and only 25 years old. Yeah, I was going to say those are good splits. The knock on him being a bad shooter may not be true. Kenrick saying Chris B was here for our chip. That's right. That's right. Kenrick saying put some respect on Chris Boucher's name, the Canadian Raptor, the only one presently. Fuck that, man. People are trying to rob our shit. I'm telling you. Cool Cat saying good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Pascal, the ghost of championship team. Spice and Dice split up, so they add yak and skills for the new era. Listen, whatever we can do, whatever we got to do, pick up the pieces after Fred and Nick's gone. Fuck these fucking people who run to pull us apart even further, is what I'm saying. Y'all talking about getting rid of more people. I'm going to fucking come after every single person that says, I want this person off this team next. Whether you say Masai, Pascal, OG, Chris, I don't give a shit. I'm going to start giving strikes quickly now because I'm pissed off. I'm really mad that Fred's gone, y'all. And I will take it out on people that are going to fucking do this shit in this chat. So I'm going to warn everybody right now. If you have a comment that I'm about to read that says something like this, you may want to fucking take it away right now because I'm going to kick people out without even 3 strikes. I'm that pissed off about this shit. Seriously. I'm really not dealing with Fred's exit well. I have been very angry this weekend. Just all of a sudden in the moment, I get really mad about this because I feel like it's not fair that the Raptors championship team is dismantled at this point and that the Warriors have been able to do what they've done for so long and get away with it. And we can't. So fuck this shit. I am angry. You fucking start talking about Siakam this, OG this, Chris this. I'm going to fucking kick your ass out right away. So you better clean up your comments before I get to it. I'm warning you right now because I'm pissed and I will take it out on somebody. I'm serious. I'm pissed about this. The real ones know they're going to be fine. They're real ones like me. They don't have anything to worry about. But y'all that are a little bit shady right now, you better watch out because I'm fucking pissed. Tom's saying Jalen had his best year last season. I would say he can shoot. Our top-notch front office will only trade if it's Dame or a plus caliber player. Wouldn't be surprised because he has a good hand. Okay. I like Tom's mentality about this. They're only going to make a move if it makes sense and it's going to help us. Cowboys say we need Boucher. He's the main hustler on this team. Yep. I agree with this. I value him heavily. I very much do value him heavily. All right. No more comments. If you guys have the cutoff, okay, there is a warning. There's a cutoff possibly in there too. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to get you guys to slow down and maybe stop. We're way into it. This is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot here. All right. Hang on. Yeah, no more comments for sure. And I'll try and catch up. Wow, Cowboy. I'm looking for where you're at. And I'm seeing a lot of Cowboy in here. And then, yeah, okay, there we go. Nameless is saying Pencer is a joke, claims to be a Raptors fan, yet wants to dismantle every single championship piece on this team. Yep, I've said that for sure. Thank you, Nameless. And David agrees. G saying, I sense a trade coming too. Picking up Thad's contract signals it. I agree with this. This does make sense. And even McDaniels, like the repetition of him on our team, it signals it also. Bracing myself. They're interested in Malik Beasley too, apparently. I'm not very thrilled with Malik Beasley, but we'll see what happens. Cool Cat saying Fred's 3-year 130. The last year is a team option. That is risky. See, Fred even took that risk there. Like, it may be dumb that Fred did this. He may get the 2 years and they're still like, well, we didn't really want you for 3 years. You forced us. It's a team option. We're not taking it. I can see them doing that. Seriously. They will burn him like this. Talking about team loyalty and franchise loyalty. Rockets have none of that. Like we do. Seriously, we're talking about reputations, about front offices. Yeah, our reputation, our front office will more likely to be straight up and cool. That move right there, what Cool Cat just explained, is kind of shady. Cowboy saying, fuck Pencer. This is his emoji, the sad sniffly face. All right, I like that. We can make that the sad soul. Pencer sad soul emoji. All right, we got it. Maybe we don't say he who shall not be named. Just put that in. That's what that symbolizes now. Nobody says his name anymore or anything. We just use that. Yeah, Cowboy saying, let's go. I love it. He better stay. He's in the dark room. Tom Duke saying, you folks are the only time I hear from or about that fella that ain't supposed to be mentioned. Thank you. He wants time. He wants money. He wants you to put money in the swear jar that he's not supposed to be mentioned. Well, this is kind of a time of influx, and Fred just left. So in some ways, Pencer is a topic du jour that should be talked about because the outcome that he wanted happened. And in some ways, we got to talk about the fallout from this. So in some ways, I don't want to totally censor us. He is an entity and he does matter in certain things around Raptors Nation. Well, we got to fight the good fight. We kind of have to talk about him. We can't totally treat him like Voldemort, like on Harry Potter. And you can't talk about him. Well, in some ways, to get organized to deal with him, we do need to talk about him. Giovanni saying, just call him the angry Serb. You're talking about Robert. I keep getting confused because I keep thinking Serbian. I think Rajakovic, and I don't think of him. So that's funny. Let's see. Mike's saying, "Cool cat. I saw your comment on my video. Very interesting. It could be the Raps offer was 30 average for 3 years plus a 4-year team option. Like the Raps give players of an option between money or the front office." Okay, I don't totally understand that, and I know I haven't seen Cool Cat's comment, so I can't really comment on it, Mike. But I'm glad to see Cool Cat supporting you, and you guys having your own dialogues. That's awesome. All right, so Cowboys got this. That's not the butt face, but that's the angry face, and he's got the sad person in the porn room in the dark room, and then he's got the poop. Yeah, I like that. Cool Cat saying Jalen McDaniels 48% field goal, 40% 3 points, and he's great defensively too. Great bench piece. Our team looking good. Okay, you guys are selling me on him. In some ways, I wasn't that enthusiastic about the move, but knowing that he's an underrated shooter, he isn't as bad a shooter as everybody thought. And I know he's good defensively. I mean, that's obvious with his body that he's going to be a good defender. Okay, you're making me feel even better about this, Cool Cat. Thank you. Cowboys saying, nice, Cool Cat. Got to check out his highlights after watching the greatest Raptors content on the planet. Let's go. Thank you, Bradley. You're so awesome. Monique saying Thad likely out. Yeah, probably with the trade. Jimmy saying, imagine all the ideas James Wade has. He's got people who can fly through the air to do crazy things. Not taking anything against the WNBA, but he's probably got some good ideas. Listen, I think it's just a dream of his, and then he got the chance. He had to jump on it, even if it's kind of looks bad in certain ways. I don't fault him for it. In some ways, people are going to really hate him from the WNBA, and he may not be able to go back at this point. Probably, maybe, but we'll see. Top it up saying, I like the McDaniels pick. He's 25, a decent defender, and he can space the floor, so he complements Scotty. I think he has a connection with Scotty somehow, some way, but I'm not totally positive. I was trying to look for connections with our team existing. If he has crossed paths with anybody at any level in any kind of way, I didn't make any connections yet, but I'll bet there are some sort of connections that he has as a younger player with some of our guys. We'll have to see. Cowboy saying, take a second and smash the like button. Thank you, Cowboy. Kareem saying, laugh out loud at Jimmy Pope. James probably has a bunch of inbound alley-oop plays. All right, y'all. Let's not diss the WNBA too much. But, I'm excited about it. Like I said, he's a personality. He really did. Like, he was one of the superstars of the WNBA game in Canada that people that talked to him were like, wow, this guy's really impressive. This guy's really crazy. It's kind of like that guy that Nick hired from playing in the tournament summer for Team Canada. He like the coach of Cuba or something. He said, I want you to come coach for me. And I don't know if that actually ever happened. Maybe that was bullshit. But, James Wade coming for a WNBA in Canada game, he impressed Masai and Bobby, obviously. And I guess Darko already knew him somehow, some way. And so he's like, yeah, we'll get James. Okay, he's on the staff. There you go. Boom. I love it. I love it. It's so cool. Let's see. Seymour saying SB4, SB4. This season is going to be special. I hope that's completely true. I could see it. Cool Cat saying, I love our European feel for our team. New era begins. I like James Wade. Didn't know he was related to Wade. Great coach and love his personality. Nice to hear he speaks French. Yeah, there you go. It'll be another interview in the interview room, just like Boucher and Siakam speaking some French. We know he's going to get some French questions. You know he will. Cowboy saying, our coaches and team will surprise all the NBA. Shock and awe. Let's go. Bradley is just such a positive, awesome Raptor freak. He's the epitome of what I'm talking about. Him, Shere Khan, Cool Cat. You guys are the real ones. Seriously. G saying Miami and the Lakers have free agents knocking on their door and players requesting trades there. Other front offices have many more challenges. I won't say that about the Lakers. I maybe say that about Miami. Miami does have some attractive things about it, but I don't know if the Lakers have that anymore. I mean, the part of the organization, sure, the history, the illustriousness of it, but this organization, the badness of it, the toxic of it in recent years is not that attractive in some ways. I mean, I get it. It is to certain levels of players, but I don't know. I just don't want to believe it. And as far as Boston, you didn't put them in that list. It's because a lot of people don't want to play for Boston for a lot of different reasons. I know that LeBron James said he will never play for Boston. I know that Dame Lillard said he would never play for Boston. So there's a certain sentiment of like Boston. Nobody wants to play for you. In some ways, there may be more people that don't want to play for Boston than that don't want to play for the Raptors. Seriously, at this point, and Boston fans may be laughing at me for that, but no, you don't understand. Y'all's reputation is really bad around the league in a lot of different ways. Seriously, a lot of different ways y'all's reputation's bad, seriously. G saying 100%. The G, or Seymour saying, Seymour, I view our team as Mike Tyson Punch-Out. We will always fight the great fight as underdogs. Yeah, we're Lil Mac. We're Lil Mac. We got to get out there on the bike with Doc. I love that game. I used to play that game. You got beat Soda Popinski, Mr. Sandman, Don Flamenco, King Hippo, Piston Honda. Yeah, you got to take them out. And we are the underdog. We are Lil Mac. And Lil Mac can beat Mike Tyson. It's very hard. You got to get that timing right. And beating Mike Tyson is very, very hard on the game. Trust me. But it can be done. It's exactly like that with the Raptors championship. It's exactly like that. You know that you can beat Mike Tyson in that game with Lil Mac. And it's hard. And it's just like the Raptors getting a championship. It's very difficult, but we can get the timing and everything right. We can do it. We can do it. Yeah, let's compare some Mike Tyson's punch out to the Raptors situation. I love that. Love that. Cowboy saying, I don't know at Gio. I think he's a lifer, has a great piece for this team and his future. Pascal, yes. Yes. And you want to dunk for Seymour because he brought up Mike Tyson's punch out? All right, we'll do that. Seymour Pape, you have got so many dunks, man. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 dunks. Kareem has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Seymour Pape, you are the dunk leader at this point. You are past Kareem Thomas. Isaac Campbell, it looks like you're third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, yeah, 12 for Seymour, 10 for Kareem, and 9 for Isaac. Those are your 3 top dunkers on the Raptor Free channel. Just a little heads up. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, he shall not be nameless seems like a mental case. We have to be careful of his obsession with Scotty, attacking everyone he perceives as a hindrance. Yeah, let's just be careful of him in general and just avoid him if you can. Kareem saying 5 to 6 years from now, we will have had a haul of new assistants because we've done so well. The league wants everybody we got. This is what Kareem's reply is to Iceman like Gerben saying our coaching stuff's a little mid, kind of Well, Kareem's going to say that we're going to have a coaching tree from Darko and that some of these guys are going to be going and getting other jobs because we're going to do so well. I love that prediction. I hope it exactly is true. Black Spawn is here. Good to see Black Spawn. Hey, Tom, people need to reference back to our previous GMs and compare the results. We are very fortunate to have Masai. That's a fantastic comment, and it's exactly right. Y'all got to look at Rob Babcock. Seriously, go look at Rob Babcock in the Vince Carter trade. Seriously. Even Colangelo. Colangelo had some good stuff about him. He wasn't a bad GM, but he wasn't as good as Masai and Bobby. He wasn't. And in the early GMs, listen, we did really good drafting. We did good stuff with Isaiah in certain ways, but there were some problems also with keeping like non-toxic things happening on the team with Isaiah around that it didn't totally fit either. And then you can talk about Glenn Grunwald and the job he did in between there around Vince and stuff. He wasn't that bad either. But Masai and Bobby are on a whole other level than any of the other front offices we had before them. They just are. Seriously, they're a big part of the reason why our team's so good. And thank you, Black Spawn, for a great comment of reason in the middle of everything. Now, I hope that people will espouse that comment in other places where people are slandering our front office right now, that they really got to take a reference check and go look at the history of GMs in Raptors history. Mike's saying, easy to point to flaws, but to create in an imperfect system takes a true vision. Acting like we're the ones that magically trade for big names and it's just going to work. Why fit perfect in DeMar's role? That was a very huge gamble, and that could have made or break Masai's career. It made his career. And that's why we should honor him, because that move alone was a grand slam home run. And it was so risky. So risky. So you tell me if Masai Ujiri is good at his job, he made a huge risk. And it paid off. It paid off. There's no doubt it did. There's no doubt it did. Monique saying that Marquise draft video hit different. Got me a bit. Yeah. Marquise Noel's going to be an emotional player. He's going to wear his heart on his sleeve. He's going to be very expressive. He's going to be very dog. Watch. Seymour saying Raptors from GM to coach is very internationally looking. maybe the American players feel in some way. I hope not, because of our players all are glue and we stick together through thick and thin. Rely on Masai. Well, in some ways, that's why I respect and want more international people around our team and less Americans. The duty and the allegiance. The Americans, I grew up in America. I know we have to say the Pledge of Allegiance every single morning. It's programming for nationalism to be like pledging allegiance to the United States. So, people like Norman Powell can come up here, win a championship, and then go back to the States, and they just don't have the allegiance to Canada in the same kind of way that somebody who doesn't have the ties to America in the programming. That's why, I'd rather have more international people like Darko and Dennis Schroeder and James Wade around our team, because they're more likely to have allegiance to Canada and international stuff because they're already international people. It's not like they gotta feel like they gotta go home. That's why I love Chris Boucher, because he's home. He doesn't want to go to the States. He's glad he plays for the Canadian team in the NBA. So in some ways, I very much do value the international side of the Raptors history. All the great international players have come through here, and I want more of them. And I feel like that's good job security for our people because they're less likely to turncoat and go south. The thing with Nick made me realize this. Nick was wanting to be an honorary Canadian. He was doing everything, but you see how quick it can turncoat like this. And that's what I'm saying. Fred loves Canada. He loves Toronto. He always will, but he's an American. And now he plays in the States. And that's part of it. And who knows? Maybe he's going to be more like Norman in the future. I don't think he will, because he's smart. And he knows that he doesn't want to tarnish his legacy with us. Kyle's been very smart about how he's handled it since he went to Miami. He's very much shown the proper respect and love for Canada and Toronto since he left. I expect Fred to do the same. But Norman is an example of how you can kind of see somebody who doesn't totally respect our country, even though he won the biggest ultimate prize in his profession here. So, that's an example right there. Excuse me. Let me drink something real quick. All right, top of top. All right, I'm going to warn you here. I agree with Giovanni. Raps can't afford to lose Pascal or OG for nothing after losing Fred. It's only logical to avoid it. Messiah said he doesn't like making moves at February deadline with less leverage. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that to a degree, guys. Once again, I'm not going to forecast. I'm not going to ask for any trades. I'm going to let them do their jobs, and I react. I don't give them ideas. I could, but I don't feel like I need to, or I should. But I'm not about this. I'm not going to tell them how to do their jobs. I react to how they do their jobs, and we talk about it afterwards. So you got to just trust in Masai that hopefully what you're saying will happen top of top, that they will tie these guys up, and there won't be anything like what happened this weekend with them. Cool Cat saying, Lex, you have to understand Fred VanVleet is about the money first. He has always told us it's in his identity, no emotions, money first, business strategy, use those lens, and it would be fine. I know I'm coming to that conclusion this weekend. Finally, I questioned what his priorities were, and I didn't think that money was the highest, but it is. And now it's evident. And you're right, Cool Cat. And listen, you don't have to tell me to understand that. I do understand it. I'm painting a different picture of Fred at this point, but I don't hate him for it. I'm not mad at him for it. It is what it is. I'm disappointed he's not in the Raptor jersey still, for sure. Cowboys saying, Noel, let's go. Wayne saying, seems like we're busy with signings. McDaniels is a good signing. Powell and Fred have all the reasons to be happy with generational wealth. Let them have it. I regret losing those guys. That's life. I don't know what they mean by saying that. It could be very innocuous and stuff like that. But, it's a little cryptic and weird. Norman's message. And you're right. When it gets right down to it, good for them. Generation wealth. I'm happy for them. They're our champions. We should celebrate them. We love them. But also in some ways, we, up here in Canada, we get a lot of disrespect from the stateside NBA that maybe we're a little sensitive to it, maybe overly sensitive to it. But I don't want our own champions like Norman Powell to diss what he accomplished here himself. And he did do that in recent years. So I'm a little suspicious of Norman at this point. Let's just put it that way. Cool Cat saying Fred VanVleet's departure helps the trio of Pascal, OG, and Scotty. Big picture players enjoy the Raptors experience. This is another reason why I wish these negative ninnies and idiots would shut up. You got what you wanted. You were worried about Fred taking money away from these guys. Well, he's gone now. And you don't have to worry about that now. Is that good enough for you now? You're going to move on to the next gripe you have just to fucking have a gripe? Are you just a baby that's crying out for a tit every fucking minute of the day? Is that what you fucking are, you fucks? I mean, that's how I feel about them right now. It's like, if it's not good enough, well, we changed this, and now it's kind of what you wanted. Fred's out of the way. He's not going to be taking shots away. He's not going to be taking money away. Are you happy? No, you're not happy. You've gone on to the next fucking subject of fucking bullshit you want to harp on. Yeah, I hate that shit so much. It's so annoying. David saying, David saying, I really don't understand why they don't trade that moron Joel. They could get so much for him, and Embiid can hardly walk to half court during the game. I don't care, but in some ways, David, you need to go masquerade as a Philly fan. Go over there, man. Go inside and really fucking carve into Joel. Seriously, do Panzer in their nation. David, you'd be perfect at this. You could just go in there and be like Sixers love. Go in there and be Sixers love and just start fucking talking crazy shit in there. Like, say stuff like, I heard that Nick Nurse once beat a child at a mall or something. Just make shit up. Just make shit up like Panzer does. And just say crazy ass shit in Sixers fan spaces and see how much traction you get, David. Seriously, you might really enjoy this. It might be hilariously fun for you. Your hate for Joel. You could literally go in there and just use your hate against Joel honestly and openly as a Raptor fan and act like you're a Sixers fan. Seriously, David, if you did this, I would be like, you're a hero, bro. You're a hero. Go in there and tear down the Sixers Nation from the inside. Make up a fake name. They won't know who it is, and go in there and just fucking start dissing Joel and say, we need to trade him right away. And just go on about how he's too lazy to run Nick's system and he won't be able to do it. We just need to get rid of him. Fucking go do that, David, today. Please, please, please go do it. Top saying, I don't think Dame is the right move. You would have to gut the team and future picks to get him. Plus, apart from Curry and Isaiah, the history of small guards leading teams to chips recently is none. Top, I'm with you on this. Once again, we're having a little bit of a full circle here. A little bit of weirdness at times, but, top redeeming themselves with a sound comment. I'm with you on this. I think that the price may be too high, and it may not really line up for what wants because we have to give too much to the other way, that we may not be able to be at the level that Dane feels comfortable to do the move to come here. So I think that the whole thing is dead in the water. It's just pie in the sky thinking of Raptors Nation to get a home run kind of move to get Lillard. I think we could maybe still get a home run kind of move in a trade this summer, but I'm not calling for it or wanting it for sure, as long as it's the best kind of move, like a Kawhi for DeMar kind of move. But yeah, I think this is right. You strip the team down too much. What's the point? Dame's not going to get what he wants. Cowboy saying, I know David. I want Philly to keep him so we can put the beat down on him and Nurse. Let's go Raptors. Either way, I'm just saying, just cause confusion, David. Maybe you should talk about Maxey and say, yeah, Maxey's holding us back. Just be really fucking crazy with your ideas and really get people pissed off. But maybe some of the dumb Sixers fans will follow you and really start getting behind you. Seriously, I can see this. David could be fucking Panzer in the Sixers Nation for us. Panzer, you want to come from another nation and fuck up our fan nation with your bullshit and your misinformation? Well, welcome David Saborin. Saborin basketball. Talking Sixers every day. I love it. That's such a great. I would watch that channel just for the fun of knowing the truth about it. Yeah, David, you go in there and just make an assumed name. Even go on camera and be really crazy like Robert is. You could even do like you're a parody of Robert. Like act like him. Like maybe you see like some of the dumb shit he does on his channel and you kind of do some of the mannerisms or act like him. Maybe you'll leave your porn search on the screen for a second by accident too. That could be a really interesting project, David. I don't know how much free time you have, but if you do and you really enjoy this kind of stuff, I would say go do it. Do it right now. It'd be hilarious. All right, let's keep going. Wayne's saying our team seems to be building on the team concept where anyone's struggling, there's another teammate ready to go. I love this team concept. Next man up. Next man up. Opportunities and competition to rise up. The team that was the best competitive team for the Raptors was the bench mob team. And that's because that bench mob was competitive with the starting team. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to derive competition between your starters and your bench. And if you have all your best talent in your starting lineup, there's no talent to compete with the starters. That's Nick Nurse's bullshit, fucking idiot, fucking concept. Well, Darko may be more likely to balance the starters with the bench and have some really good quality on the bench so that there is some sense of competition amongst the team to elevate their games because they're worried about their spot in some ways. We don't want our players to be worried about their spot on the team because of trades. We want our players to worry about their spot on their team because they're not playing good enough and there's somebody on the team that may play better and take their minutes. That's the worry we want these guys to have motivated to light a fire under their ass. And there was none of that last year. It was all cut and dry. These are the haves and these are the have-nots. There's nothing you can do to change it. So where the fuck is the motivation of the Raptors to excel and do better than just mid 500 team exactly? That's what I'm saying. You can really change things quick and get better results out of this team by inviting competition, which Nick did not with his system and his rotation and his way of doing things. So Darko, with a little bit more different talent, that's all kind of in competition for different roles and minutes and stuff like that. Sure, we got favorites, Scotty, Pascal, OG. They're probably going to get the starter spots. But with competition and wide open, you get better results, better play from your guys because they have something to earn or prove. Marquise Noel. That's right. That's right. And I love it, Wayne. Great comment. G saying to top true. See, we suss every comment. If the comment is kind of then we'll call you out. But if you have good, constructive, critical stuff, we'll love it and we'll be with you. It doesn't even have to be totally positive. It's just got to be fair. And it has to come from the right place. David saying that's true. Cowboy could just line them up along the curve. Monique saying 40 people watching. I love it. Cool Cat saying we are having a winning core. Our bench looking better already. Winning is our goal. That's right. It's all about winning. It's just about winning. Come on now. We say it so much. We're going to keep saying it. That's why we say win, win, win over and over again. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2024. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2024. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2024. The Denver Nuggets, NBA champions 2023. Sound weird last year for a while? Yeah, damn for sure did. But it became true, didn't it? Didn't it? Yeah. So don't sleep on crazy ass statements like Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2025. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2025. Speak it into existence. Say it over and over again every morning, 3 times right when you wake up. There you go. Speak it into existence. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Mike's saying Lex triggered on Scott and Scoot. I'm not triggered. I just think it's dumb. Like, it's so dumb. Okay, they've got almost the same name. Ooh, so cute. Put them together. What are you, fucking collecting American Girl dolls? I want the whole set, Daddy. I need the whole set. No, Veruca, you can't have one. You can't have a Oompa Loompa. I want one, Daddy. I want Scoot and Scott. Yeah. No, Veruca. No. It's fucking bullshit. Demanding little fox. Scoot and Scott. Cowboys saying, can't wait to play Houston also. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Homecoming, Fred coming into our arena, getting the love, that Kyle Lowry welcome back game. Woo, yeah, that's going to be good. It's going to be good. David saying, haha, yeah, I can only imagine what it's going to be like watching Fred play against us. It's going to be weird. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be weird. Raps Love saying, when you want a bigger role, you don't cry about it. You take it. Stop crying. How do you sound like a 4-year-old kid? I love this comment by Raps Love. That's right, OG. That's why I don't believe this bullshit. He wants a bigger role. Why he doesn't talk to nobody hardly ever? He finally said this year, I want to be a defensive player of the year. And then he got some shine for it. He's not really saying things. So does this make any sense that he's demanding a bigger role? Well, he gets everything he wants on our team. It's not like he's one of the have-nots. He was able to get minutes and score and get shots and do all that kind of stuff. So it just doesn't line up when they say he wants a bigger role. Well, he could just go take it. It's not like it's not there for him to just go fucking take it. So just go fucking take it, OG. If you want a bigger role, it's there for you, especially now with Fred gone. It's even more there for you, man. You had it already with Freddie here still. Well, you're going to get it even more. And I agree with Raps Loves wholeheartedly with this one. Yeah, you want that role, just go fucking take it. Don't say you need it. Just go take it. Don't say it. Just do it. That's right. Iceman saying Jalen McDaniels used to work out with Kawhi Leonard with trainers Clint Parks and Cartier French Tony. Both went to San Diego State. That's the connection. All right. He was at San Diego State, not the same year that Malachi is there, but they have that connection. They're both San Diego State Aztecs. So there you go. There's a connection right there. There's a Flynn connection with McDaniels of going to the same college. But they didn't play the same time, but they may be familiar with each other because of alma mater. So Wayne saying, didn't know there was 2 McDaniels. Hope he's a good player. What's his stats like? Well, he's the lesser better of the two McDaniels, Jaden and Jalen. And we got Jalen. Jaden's the one on Minnesota that's actually done way better so far. But Jalen could be unlocked. We look at Jaden's output for the Timberwolves and we say, well, what's possible with Jalen? Let's see if Darko can get on that and unlock this guy a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. They've been telling me his stats are good for shooting. And I like that. Monique saying, been getting so much traffic on my socials just by talking about the team and new additions. There is a high interest right now. I've had a jump in subscriptions. Thank you for all the new subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Partly because people want to know what the fuck's going on. And this is a good channel to kind of get a condensed kind of version of it. I highly recommend to anybody who's new to the channel, if you're not watching me live, watch me at 1.5 speed. I'm really good fast. You can still understand me, and the time will go by really fast. I know I'm at 2.5 hours right now. And not everybody has all the time in the world. This is really like a radio show you can put on passively behind while you're doing other things in your day. You want a Raptor specific related kind of radio show. This is your show, 9:30 every day in the morning. And yeah, I know Monique, everybody's kind of having a little bit of bump because there's a lot of interest. There's people searching for information about what's going on with the team. Well, we're going to get more traffic, got people in the know like you and I, because we know that you know your stuff. People don't want to come find out what you have to say. Cowboys saying, right on, Mo. Keep up the good work. That's right. I love seeing you getting the bumps. Get those bumps. Yeah. Mo from Logical Raptors Fanatic. He's probably getting a bit of bump himself. Thank you for the chat warning. Name was saying, let Lex have a life too. Laugh out loud. Well, my folks did go back to Georgia, so I have a little bit more time with my work and balancing everything at this point. So I'm okay right now. I don't mind. This is a very important weekend with free agency and so much movement, so many things happening, so much right now. Cutoff time. Cowboys saying cut off at 11. Okay. You people, let's go, Raptors. Have a great day, Lex, and Raptor Freaks. Have a blessed and safe day. Thank you, Cowboy. Bam. Ta-da. If y'all have any needs around your house, you need to clean your gutters, wash your windows, clean your carpets, move a heavy object, you can find Ta-da in the internet, and they will come to your house and help you with your odd job. Ta-da. They're in the greater Toronto area. Just look them up. They'll come and help you. There is help out there, y'all. Leslie's saying, Lex, there are different levels of fans. I like this. Bandwagon, casual, regular, real ones, super fans, and toxic Twitter trolls. Now, I would have put them first, toxic Twitter trolls, in the order of how bad they are to the good. I say this: there's fans, there's fanatics, and then there's freaks. That was like kind of my catchphrase for this in some ways. Not saying that Mike isn't a freak also, because he's a fanatic, but he's got level of freakdom also with his level of fandom too. But yeah, I'm with you on this. There's casual and bandwagon are kind of similar. It's kind of overlapping. But yeah, there's a lot of toxic trolls and wolves in sheep clothing that aren't actually our fans. They're trying to tear shit up. David, go do it to Sixers. You can do this. You can do this. You know so much about Nick. You could go say all kinds of crazy shit about Nick Nurse in Sixers spaces, and you could probably get some crazy shit happening. Seriously, David, you might really enjoy it. You really might enjoy it. It might really be fun for you. Nameless to say my assessment of Click was on point once again. See, Nameless is the one who called him out, and I have kicked him out, partly on Nameless's recommendation. He said that he thinks it is Pantera, or at least a Pantera. I don't know what either way. He's not following what we're trying to do here well enough, and I'm just sick of it. I'm pissed off. Like I said, I want to take it out on somebody. Well, I'm sorry, it's Click. Yeah, it's just how it is. Seymour saying he got hit with the sweet chin music finisher. You know, Seymour, you got a dunk already, but you want another one for a Shawn Michaels reference. You got it. You got it. You got 13 dunks now just for mentioning the Heartbreak Kid. I love it. I put him right through that barbershop glass window. That's what I did. I Marty Jannetty'd his ass. Yeah. Yeah. Space Cadet saying, amazing how Fred is gone. And now people are already going after Pascal. Nothing ever changes. That's what I'm saying. That's why we know there is entities in our fan nation that are actively doing things to try and tear us apart. That's why I've asked you, Space Cadet, go get a Boston Celtics fake ass account and go start doing the same damn thing to the Celtics today. Seriously, go in there and start talking about Porzingis this, Porzingis that. How can we let Marcus Smart go like this? We're idiots. We need to fire Brad Stevens right now for letting Marcus Smart go to Memphis. He's the heart and soul of our team. He never wanted to leave. I love Marcus. What did you do to us? Just go in there, Space Cadet. Act like you're a Celtics fan and just set up an account. Say Celtics fan, number one. and just be like, hey guys, I love the Celtics. And then just fucking tear it up inside, acting like you're a fucking Celtics fan, just making up bullshit. We can't have both Tatum and Brown. We can't, guys. How are we going to pay them? We got to let go of Jalen. Seriously, if we don't get rid of him soon enough, we're going to lose him for nothing. Does that sound familiar? You could do that in other places. Space Cadet, I give you that assignment. Go and fuck up Celtics Nation. David will go fuck up Sixers Nation. That's the right stuff. We got to fight fire with fire. Name was saying Southern Italy, bro. Southern Italy, bro. That's why he knows. He just knows. He knows. Nameless knows. He just knows. Mike saying Fred VanVleet is unique from a rebuilding team. Paid a max to a guy in his prime to teach and lead the rebuild. Normally, the teams looking at prime players are over the first cap already and have no money. Exactly. They've been sitting with this open max spot for a few years now. And it's just so happened they had to use it now. They may not have wanted to use it. It's just the CBA made them use it. And they're opportunists, and it just happened to time with our guy. And that's why we're the ones who get the detriment of it in a very specific, unique situation that may never, ever happen again in the history of the NBA. That's part of it, too, is this is a singular event, this Fred VanVleet signing from Houston. It's an overpay, and it's a very much a mandatory one if they get in trouble. So they had to overpay him. And why are we going to overpay to match it and keep him if it's like this? We can't, first of all. And it would have been bad if we did actually have the money to do it. And we did. Trust me, it wouldn't have been a good idea either. So Fred just has to go. We got to let him go, guys. David's saying, I don't know, but we talking some heads this morning. Taking some heads. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Whatever. It is what it is. We're a Raptor free cult. We're crazy. We do weird shit. We're a little bit weird. We are, for sure. Tom Duke saying, I miss Raymond for sure. I think Raymond's here. He just watches. I don't think he actually comments anymore. But we love you, Raymond Jacob. I know you're around. I know you're here. Tom Duke saying, have a great day, everyone. Go Raps. All right, WLEX. All right, thanks, Tom. Tom, I got to go to work or something. Captain Saber Bro's here. Good to see Captain Saber Bro, a great Raptor freak, somebody we haven't seen a bit more in Raptors land. Good to see you, Captain Saber Bro. Always good to see you step in here. Name was saying, hockey fans beware. You have to relearn basketball as a sport entirely. Apples and oranges. That's right. Do not apply any hockey GM logic to Raptors GM logic. Please, Maple Leaf fans, hockey fans, NHL fans in general, just stop. Just pause. JD Bunkus, don't even talk about the Raptors, please. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. JD Bunkus. Just bunkus your ass out of here. If you're talking about Raptors or NBA, just stick to the Leafs, bro. Please. Just stick to the Leafs. Mike saying, bro, that's what happened with Fred VanVleet. Paid him to lead a rebuild. Who's doing that with OG, Pascal, etc.? This was truly a unique signing from it. Was a leadership buy and not normal, acting like it's like it is. Laugh out loud. Exactly. This is not a normal thing that happened with Fred. It may be a once in a lifetime ever in the whole entire history of the NBA kind of thing. Seriously, the money he got over LeBron and Kyrie in the history of the NBA, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. In some ways, Fred shouldn't be on that list with Kawhi, Kyrie, and LeBron James. He just shouldn't in some ways. All right, Raymond is here. Raymond is here. One of two, Tom and Nameless. I'm here and there, fam. I too missed the old school hour marathons on the chat too, but life's changed. Got urgent priorities that have cut into Raptors time. Okay, Raymond, whatever you've got going on in your life, man, I wish you well and blessings and happiness and success. And whatever ventures you got going. I know that your life has gotten a little more hectic in the last year or so, and that you haven't been able to be as active on this channel. We totally understand. And we're family, bro. We'll be here for you when you have time to come in and just say things and hang out with us. It's great. And I hope you'll come to the Raptor Freak meet and greet just like you did last year. You were at the one last summer. And I hope you'll come again. Saturday, July the 15th, 3 p.m., Real Sports Bar and Grill. Monique, the Saborans, myself, a lot of people from last year will be there again this year. And I hope you will be one of those people once again, Raymond. We truly do value you as a Raptor freak, a great trivia competitor, and just a great guy that we miss regularly contributing. But we understand this is how it is sometimes. Things come up. You got to get busy. Well, you got to make sacrifices. But at least I'm glad that I know that you still listen to us. I know you do. Because you told me, he's like, I'm not really like commenting too much, but I am still listening. And I appreciate that you still follow me, man. I really do, Raymond. Nameless saying, Raymond, let's fucking go. That's right. Let's go, Raymond Jacob. Let's celebrate Raymond Jacob right now, real quick. Original. Seriously, somebody who started watching my channel from the very beginning. He may have been one of the top, like, first 10 people that followed me, guys. Seriously, right at the start, Raymond came in right off the bat and was really, really supportive right away. Let's see. Nameson, I hope everything is well, and we miss you here in the chat, Hermano. Yeah. Yes, sir, Raymond. Cheers, my friend. Tom saying that. All the best to you, sir. See, we're family, bro. Monique saying a better one. I wrote it wrong. My bad. Oh, by the way, I looked up Real Sports menu last night. That's to tell you, Lex. Oh, okay. Real Sports has got a pretty good menu. I can actually eat some things on it. But no, it's just gonna be a fantastic time. I really do hope and encourage as many people that watch this channel that live in the Toronto area that want to come and meet me in person, and Monique, the superfan Lawrence. We will be there July the 15th, 3 p.m., Real Sports Bar and Grill next to the Scotiabank Arena. And we're going to have all kinds of fun. Giveaway. We're going to try and do a live stream. We're going to give David his championship trophy for winning the trivia this year. It's just a Raptor Freak meet and greet just for fun and just hanging out and saying hi to each other. It'll be a lot of fun, seriously. And Brian from To The Point will be there also. So we're going to have people from different channels also. I hope Mike can come down too. I know, Mike, that's just after your drop. So maybe you'll have to do your drop and then come down to Real Sports and hang out with us. I hope you will, Mike. I really do. I would really like to meet you in person, seriously. Let's see. Kenrick saying, Raptors are fine. We are going to have a compilation from our bench, and I believe our culture will be fun, like when Kyle was here. I think our culture is going to be way more fun. Grady Dick, hello. Darko, hello. These guys are fun guys, and they're going to keep it light and airy and a little bit more fun, a little more swag, less so serious and like feeling like fucking the world is ending like we had last year. KSM saying, you are on edge. Everything okay? Yeah, I'm pissed that Fred's gone. I really am a very diehard Raptor fan. I have very, very strong connection to our team. And the way like Fred's gone now is sad. For me, it's like a breakup. It very much is like that. When DeMar got traded for Kawhi, I was pissed for 2 months. Let's just put it that way. I was really mad at Masai at that time because he went against the loyalty of DeMar at that moment, and it really made me mad. I was a huge DeMar fan. And I was very difficult in that summer of 2018 because I was just angry. I mean, that's how much I care about this team. So I am going through a little bit of emotions, like breakup feeling emotions with Fred right now. And that's natural for like a very, very big fan of a team to go through for a franchise player who's been with the team for a long time. I had this feeling when Jonas was traded for Mark too. I really liked Jonas a lot. And when Kyle left, that was another one. So when these things happen, I do get this. Now with Nick, I channeled it all into anger because I was upset about him leaving too. But Fred's different. I'm really upset about this. And I'm kind of the person I'm mad at is the NBA. I'm mad at the NBA for having these setups uniquely set up to have this happen with Houston and how this happened. So let's see. David saying just clearing house. I am on edge, and that's fine. It's part of the reason why people like me like this is I'm real. And, much like Chev has emotion and he goes off on his spiels and he just goes crazy. And that's part of the entertainment value of NBA Chev. Well, I'm on that sliding scale of emotion and kind of being real and saying my opinions and stuff. And sometimes I don't hold back and I may cuss and I may get really angry. But I'm really frustrated with the toxic people in Raptors Nation right now that are still trying to destroy. We've had so much destroyed already this summer. When is enough going to be enough for you fuckers is what I'm going to say right now. Yeah. Raymond's saying, thanks. I know you all are okay. I read the chat here and there. Hang on. Why did it jump like that? I hate when it jumps like that. I'm right in the middle of the statement and then it jumps so far. Wow, there's so much. I know you all are okay. I read the chat here and there. I prefer when the Raps are winning and fun to watch. Looking forward to the season for sure. Love the fam. Brap, brap. Rest in peace, click. Laugh out loud. I really appreciate that, Raymond. And I get it. A lot of fans don't like to put as much attention on the Raptors when they're kind of suspiciously maybe not that good or losing. It could be very well, like Raymond said, he's very busy. He doesn't have the time to devote it. It's easier to devote time to the Raptors when they're winning. I get it. I totally get all that. And I don't think that you're any less of a fan for that. I think it's just that you have to prioritize your time with different kind of things that you have to think about. And I get that. Solely get that. So, hey, once again, you're always welcome here, and thank you for being here today. David's saying, well, he kind of put his head in a meat grinder, not surprising. He wouldn't let it go is what it was. Click is really after Pascal for some reason right now, and I'm not about that. And sometimes we got to remember he was kind of fighting with us this whole season, and I was in between. And it was Cool Cat and Click kind of going at it a bit. Cool Cat standing up for Pascal's honor, and Click kind of really saying a lot of shit. And I'm now at this point, I'm just like, fuck this shit. Yeah, when is enough enough? You're gone. I'm sorry. I can't have this anymore. Space Cadet saying, I'm with you, Lex. So much of the dismantling was clutch. The Fred situation was just very unlucky. Who knew Houston, of all teams, would have that much money to spend and they would overpay like crazy? Well, I knew their situation for a couple years now because I'd look at their team and I'm like, they're not spending any money. They're not spending any money at all. And the NBA absolutely hated that. Because basically they're like a G League team because they're not filling out their roster by using all their money and they're expecting to lose on purpose. Well, they wanted to stop that. And that's why they changed this rule. Well, they have to fix the rule real quick. They got to spend money real quick. We're the ones who get a detriment to us because we lose a very important player because we're outbid by that special situation. It is what it is. As above, so below, saying Lex kick the Click. We the North, baby. You guys aren't upset about this. All right. I know I'm going to see him in other places, and he may be mad at me at this point, but whatever. It is what it is. I mean, he was really loyal and came in here a lot early on. He was very active in the beginning of this channel, and he's kind of gone away and just shows up every once in a while at this point. Shere Khan saying, Raptor Freak family, just realized we already have 14 players under contract, and Ron, Jeff, and Joe are still unsigned. No idea about Banton. Maybe there has to be some player shuffle to make room for young prospects. Yeah, and I wouldn't really take into account that number because remember also, Shere Khan, we have 18 spots. So there's actually 4 more spots still on top of it. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be interesting. But all those 14 players under contract right now, they're not going to stay the same. Watch. Shere Khan saying 45 people watching. Let's hit the like button. Thank you, Shere Khan. G saying Jalen may have a connection with Flynn, believe it or not. I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does. They probably do know each other. And that may be very good for Flynn if he's going to try and be our starting point guard, to have a friend and somebody like that. Infamous saying, salute, freaks. I like how the team's coming together. There are more to come. This is why patience is important, and trust. Trust and patience in the front office. Infamous saying, getting Lillard looks like a Kawhi move that Masai might make. This is what Masai was saying in his presser when we didn't make moves at the deadline. I'm with that. Anything he could have done at the deadline, he can do now this summer. Isaac Campbell saying no more dunking. Shirkan saying, folks, we have to stay away from the ring chasers like KD, Dame, and focus more on players like Pascal, OG, and Scotty. If Spicy's comfortable with it, OG can even be a 1B, share the ball, and see what happens. I'd love to see OG just surpass him and be the 1A, and Pascal can go back to being the 1B. I'm okay with that too. And I like your philosophy, what you're saying about ring chasers also. These guys have folly. It's always been that way in the history of the NBA. Like, how many times have ring chasing kind of things, situations gone well? You can look at the old Houston Rockets way back with Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley and Olajuwon. How did that go? Nothing. You can look at the ring chasers of the Lakers in the mid 2000s with Steve Nash and Karl Malone. They tried and go one championship with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal after they won a bunch, and that still didn't work. We've had a couple of different ring chasing kind of contingents, and it doesn't often work. So I'm with Shere Khan's philosophy on this. Do it right with your own guys and develop them, and don't try and get over the top by getting KD or Dame. I'm really with that. Yeah. David's saying, all right, Sixers love. I'm going to create an account. Thank you, David. Seriously. And maybe give me reports privately. We maybe won't talk about it on this channel, but maybe we'll do it in the text, like our text conversations already. And maybe you can tell me some of the interesting things you're doing. If you do this, it'll be hilarious. KSM loves it. Thinks it's funny. Tom Duke says, Sixers love. Bah, do it. I love it. It's maybe idea. Yeah, maybe you can fleece Maxey. Do something. Go in there. You can do all kinds of damage. And I know how much you specifically love Joel. Well, let's make life a little fun for him, just like Pensera does for Fred. Mike saying we could drop Wieskamp, and not gonna lie, Grady is better prospect, redundancy. That's true. And you know what I think is going to happen, Mike? We're going to go to Summer League next week, and we're going to see Wheezy get his tryout, but also Dick's going to be out there with them. And we're going to kind of be able to compare them a little bit, and we can actually really test where they're at with where they are as players. And a lot of people are saying Wheezy's ahead of him, and I agree, he probably is. But the talent level of Grady may be so much better than Joe Wheezy. It may actually show a redundancy that you're talking about. And besides, like, we can let go of Joe because Grady's actually a little bit more ahead than we thought he was. That kind of thing. Cool Cat saying we've given Fred and Norm a path for generational wealth and notoriety in their communities. I'm happy for them and us. It was an awesome experience. Yeah, Yeah, I just don't want Norman to sully it in weird ways. Like saying what he said about our championship was really bad. And I wish he hadn't done that because it kind of earmarked me to be worried about anything Norman says when it comes to us. And his reaction to Fred, I mean, I get it. I understand they're best friends and he's just happy he's getting paid big time. But the message is weird. It can be interpreted a couple different ways. I think it probably is just very innocent and it's just about their own personal relationship and what they wanted for their goals and dreams when they started out in the NBA. And that's what it has to do with relation to. Shirkan saying, as of right now, Raps can offer 10 million more than any other team as an extension or even 70 million more as a free agent. In my opinion, that's a steal with the new CBA looking at the contracts handed out this year. All right. That's good. I like that. I like that, Shirkan. David saying, Sixers love. That's kind of catchy. Open to suggestions. Well, we don't want to make it known what your handle will be, David. You should probably make it on your own privately so that they have no idea which one it is. You really got to be incognito and you really got to look like you're one of them. That's the only way it works. We know that from how they've done it with us. That's the only way it works. So you really got to act like you are a Sixers fan and you can't have a handle that's set on here because random gamer, somebody will go tell them. There's Sixers fans watching this. So they'll go out and tell all the Sixers fan nation that there's somebody in their nation doing this. And then they may be able to figure out it's you just because of what this. But who knows? Maybe we should stop talking about this at this point. We're not doing this, Sixers Nation. We decided this is a bad idea. So we're not going to do it. It's too much work. David doesn't have time. So, yeah, we're not doing it. Cool Cat saying, my only concern with Fred leaving unexpected like this is the lesson he's showing Scotty. Good thing Gary genuinely loves Canada. I have a weird theory, and this will go back to DeMar. When DeMar said he wanted to be a Raptor for life, and then Fred said he wanted to be a Raptors for life, well, they both got traded after that. In some ways, what I think might be happening is that these guys suspect that they could be moved and to establish their legacy with the team because they love Toronto and the fan base, and they don't want to be painted as a bad guy. They want it to be known that they always wanted to be loyal to us and always be here. So that if they do get traded, they say that. So when guys say, I really love being in Toronto and I want to be here, in some ways I'm scared because that may signal that they know that they're under suspicion to possibly be traded and that they're just covering all bases to be ready just in case. And they want to make sure they're still cool with our fan base. And that may be part of why they're saying it. It's probably true when they say it. Like Fred said, I would love to be a Raptor for life, but that may not be realistic. And with his contract situation going into that may have been a very calculated move to make sure that he stays good with our fan nation. And he knew that he probably would maybe get traded this year or something would happen. Well, only you can point to that, just like DeMar did before. So whenever somebody starts saying that they really want to be a Raptor for life, I'm going to be very suspicious from now on. Forgive me for being suspicious. I don't like the message it sends to Scotty either. And I did think about this in the last couple of days. That Scotty sees Fred cash out like this. Well, I know Scotty's going to do that anyway. We know he's got that personality already, Cool Cat, from watching him on Twitch. He's going to cash out no matter what. We know that. And that's the thing. If we know the known of his psychological thinking and how he thinks, well, then we can be ready for it and understand that. So Messiah and Bobby, don't mess with Scotty. Just give him the max every single time of whatever you can give him. And don't mess with him. Seriously. Make Scotty happy. He loves you, Messiah. You want to keep that happening. Nameless saying Sixers for life. That's a not bad handle. We can't let them know. We're not doing it, though, by the way. It's a bad idea. Horrible idea. Why did I even come up with that? Mike's saying, Shere Khan, I'm touching on that the next drop. And Lex, I love your outrage at that Scoot thing. It's great because it's completely valid. I know, it's ridiculous. Seriously, what's this cutesy mootsy? What are you, Sylvanian families? I've got the little owl, and now I've got the little bear for my Sylvanian family. I just want to collect them all. Ooh, there's Scooter, the little bear, and there's Scoot, the owl. Oh, so happy. Sylvanian families. What is this fucking shit? Monique saying, I'm going to take it easy on my comments. I'm good. W stream. Keep at it, Lex. Raptors always. Monique, you comment as much as you feel comfortable. I know that sometimes you may not be feeling well and you may not be up for it. And we know that your presence, just being here, you get your kudos and your love from us. And you contribute to us in so many different ways, whether it's through your posts on social media or just your comments here. We appreciate you, whatever you can give us. And don't feel bad if you just want to be a spectator from time to time and just listen. I have no problem with that. It's your whatever you got to do, we support. All right. G loves the Sixers love. David's saying, I'm writing them all. They're all good so far. Man, this is kind of stressful. So many decisions. Listen, David, you just do it how you want to. Don't make it stressful. You know what you've got to do. You know what you've got to do. And I know you're going to be one of the best ever at it. I know you are. Some reason, I just have this feeling that this is kind of a calling for you. And that this is going to be something that you're going to really enjoy doing. And you're going to be so good at fighting the good fight in this way. I'm all about it. I'm so about it, David. We're not doing it, though, by the way. Iceman, like Gervin saying, Jalen and Malachi did play together at San Diego State from 2018 to 19. I, for some reason, thought that Malachi came in 2019 and that Jalen was there before, because Malachi was in another school the year before. He was actually at Washington. Let me go look at that timeline again. You may be right, Iceman, but I thought I looked at it yesterday and it showed that they didn't actually overlap. It's tough to say. You are right, I think, because the way they worded it on Wikipedia is not exactly clear. It says he was there 2019. Let me look at his stats. You know what it is? This is the weird thing. You know what it is? He didn't play that year. He was a red shirt, Malachi. So they technically did not play on the court because Malachi was red shirt, but they were on the team together. So, okay, I'll take it. We're both kind of half right. He was on the team with them, so they're obviously familiar and around each other, but Malachi didn't play because he was a red shirt that year. Nameless saying, all your new subscriptions, Lex, are Pensera burner accounts. I'm fine with it. They can come in here, and as they reveal themselves, I'll kick them out. David saying, except for those of us that subscribed before Clown Boy came to town. Yummy Floppy Jojo, 24-1 Pancakes. That's a pretty good name. I like that. Nameless is dead on that one. You know what, Tom? You're getting a dunk. Tom Duke needs a dunk. It's been a little while since Tom's got one. This is your second dunk, Tom. You got one very early on. This is your second dunk now. I love it. Tom's getting one for Yummy Floppy Jojo 24-1 Pancakes. Really good. David loves it too. Mike's laughing at it. David's saying this could turn into a civil war in Philly. Shit's getting real. Dude, you could really do some stuff. You know, you could have a really weird bent, like where you're very passionate about the Sixers and your ways that you are. And then also you want to do something very admirable for the city of Philadelphia. You want to clean up Kensington. Maybe that's your other part. He's like, listen, you don't know what it's like here in the real life in Philadelphia. I'm trying to clean up Kensington right now, y'all. You're not a real one. Are you on the ground zero of Kensington neighborhood in Philadelphia like I am? Like, make a big deal out of it. Make it sound like you're like a humanitarian trying to help the city, and maybe you can do like good for the city and actually shine some light on that area of Philadelphia that has such horrible problems with drug overdoses and all kinds of crazy problems. You could shine a light on their issues there. You say, if I don't get two things done, I'm getting Joel Embiid kicked out of Philadelphia, and I'm going to fix the Kensington area of Philadelphia. Yeah, just a little balance. So you get ensconced in there. Although I just gave it away again. You can't use that because they know that I just said that. Damn it. I got to stop saying it on the stream. I'm going to have to save it for text. We'll come up with a different cover story. All right. We'll come up with a different cover story. Happy Sunday from Geomad. Good to see you, Geomad. And happy Sunday to you. Nameless has got the pancakes and the 100% Canadian maple syrup is out. I love that. KSM saying, don't give that dude credit for Fred VanVleet leaving. A narcissist like him enjoys it. In fact, he actually did take credit for it. Delusional. Someone mentioned mental illness. I agree. Thank you, KSM, for your astute comment. And yeah, I hate that too. In some ways, it's kind of like, yeah, I get it. It's very Trump-like. He's got a Trump playbook in his mind. If you want to know how to deal with Pensera, well, think about Trump. They're kind of a similar kind of mindset. He did take credit for it. He literally said that in the last couple of days. See, that's what I'm saying. He's not a force for good for us. If he's delighted that he got this outcome, then fuck that guy. He did not. You're right. I shouldn't give him credit for this because he didn't have that power. He maybe had a power of perception in some ways around our fan nation, but ultimately he didn't really make this happen. This has all happened this way. I'd like to caution people to think that, fan nations are powerful in certain ways, but they're limited in their power to a degree. It's not like Bobby and Messiah getting their arms bent behind them by fan nations, say, oh, you got to trade Pascal right now. No, I don't want to. It's not like that. They don't give a shit. They tell us all to fuck off. They don't even have to listen to us. So, yeah, I get it what you're saying, and I appreciate your comment, KSM, and you're right. I shouldn't give him any credit for anything that just happened. And if he's taking credit for it, well, that just goes to show his motives are not good, and he's actually kind of revealed himself in that kind of way. David saying, I had to stop watching the channel. Just the time of the voice made me depressed. The tone of the voice. Oh, I'm saying, well, hey, it's all good. Nameless thinks you're hilarious. KSM. Raymond Jacobs saying, yeah, I will try to be at Real Sports 14th. Yeah, screw Pence there. It's the 15th. It's the 15th. David got it right. It's the 15th. It's a Saturday, Raymond, just so you know, Saturday at 3 p.m. Try to make it a time that's available for most people to be able to get down there. Awesome, Raymond. I'm so happy you'll be there. We'll reunite the crew. Hopefully Bradley will be there too. And we'll get everybody from last year and build on top of it for this year. That'll be awesome. We had such a good group last year. It was a lot of fun. You can ask anybody who went, and hopefully we can replicate that with an even bigger group this year. Mike's saying, I will if I'm not working that day. I work a lot. Okay, Mike. Well, I hope you aren't. It's a Saturday. Hopefully you can be off. Shere Khan's got the sad he who shall not be named face laughing at it. Yeah, that'll be shorthand for us now. Let's go Raptors and Raptor Free. I think this was a very productive meeting today. For some reason, very productive. We got 6 minutes. I'm going to finish up real quick. Stillman's here. Good to see Stillman 65, a great Raptor Freak, newer addition in the past year. Good afternoon, Raptor Freak family. Great stream, Lex. I'm getting subliminal messages. Got Eurogolf in the background on TV, and one there advertising signs is Bet Fred. Laugh out loud. Hilarious. They have an advertising sign on for a betting site called Betfred. Wow, crazy. Good to see you, Stillman, on this Sunday. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I understand how you feel. I had heartbreak for years when Vince left. After that experience, I'm not emotionally attached to our players. It's not. I know. I get what you're saying. In some ways, it's tough for me because they really do become my heroes. They really do become the guys that I champion and like I want to stand up and support. And I fought so hard for Fred this year. And for this to be at this point, it is sad in some ways. And I really did believe in him being wanting to be a Raptor for the rest of his life. It is what it is. I just got to get used to the change and move forward. I'm not so stubborn to be like, I don't want to look at it. No. I'm in denial. No, I know this is reality. And now I got to deal with it healthy instead of like putting it away and like denying it. No, I'm going to look at it straight on, head on, deal with it right now, get it out of the way and move forward. And that's being a role model for people on these kind of situations. When you have to deal with something, don't put it on layaway. Don't put it off for later. Deal with it now. Deal with it head on if you can. If you can't yet because you're still a little bit in a bad place and you're not ready, I understand. But sometimes it's good to just go ahead and deal with the emotions of it and go through them and feel them than to hold on to them and have to deal with them over and over again for a long, long time. Yeah, it is that way, but you're smart to stay unemotionally attached. Now, I'll question you on Pascal with that. I will. I don't know how you're staying emotionally unattached from Siakam, from what I know about you. Cool Cat saying Norman returned to the U.S. and they all came at him about the ring. He had to embrace USA branding perspective. He cried over leaving. I know he loved it here. I'm okay with slick phrasing. Yeah, I hate that because he adds fuel to their argument that it didn't matter. Our ring was devalued. That we wouldn't have done it and all this I just don't like him saying that. But I get what you're saying. He had to go over there. He's over there now. He wants to stay cool and be cool with all that side and stuff like that. I get it. But in some ways, it is kind of turncoat to me. It's just a little bit. It's not the most egregious turncoat thing. I just want him to respect what his accomplishment is. His accomplishment. He did it. Why would he sully it? Why would he water it down? Why would he make it sound like it wasn't a big deal? You won a championship, Norman. Be proud of it. And don't fucking disrespect it yourself. You're one of those champions. Is what I'm saying. Cool Cat saying Scotty is show me the money. No money, he's gone in a flash. His agency, WME, is a powerhouse in U.S. sports, Hollywood, politics, and philanthropy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't fuck around with this. Don't even make this ambiguous or weird. Just give him the money. We'll all work out. Seriously. Mike saying Fred VanVleet leaving is for the opposite reasons than he said. He said Fred was a cancer and a bad player, but he got a max to lead another team. Yeah, his argument for why Fred was not good for our team is absolute bullshit. And Mike has just shown exactly why. The other team really, really values him as the team leader to lead a bunch of youngsters and try and do something in Houston and build something with Coach M.A. Udoka. So, yeah, he's valued around the league. And go ahead. You think you got mission accomplished, Robert? You fucking piece of shit. Monique saying, your comments turned me off, but we're friends for years. I'll be okay. Made a mistake. I'm sorry, Monique. I didn't mean to come down on you so hard on that one comment. It's just for me, I know the power of how we say things can really screw things up. And also, Monique, in some ways, you're putting out content that's very detrimental to the front office right now, like talking about their failures. And I don't agree with that either. I think that there's too much of that noise out there. And I hope that you'll be a positive Raptor fan and not put out negative noise. So please look at what you're posting, because some of it you're posting is not part of the good stuff. Let's just put it that way. People are already critical of the front office. We don't need to give them like more fodder in some ways. I'm sorry if I turned you off. I hate when people say that this is the only championship or this is the only parade we're going to get. I really don't want to have that kind of mindset around here. We have to open space mentally in our minds to allow for that new championship to come in. And if your words do matter, if you say this is the only championship we're going to get, then I don't want that. I want to believe that we're going to get another one. And I'm sorry if I turned you off. I didn't mean to do it. And maybe I've been a little harsh. I'm really in a bad place in some ways. Like people have noticed, KSM. I'm very angry. Like when I get off this stream, I'm probably going to go like do something just to chill out, because I have been revved up about Fred leaving right now. So I apologize, Monique, if I was disrespectful or rude to you. That's not my intention. I love you. You're a fantastic super fan and a role model for everybody. That's why when you say things, they're very powerful. And that's why I want you to use your power for good. That's all I'm asking. I know you do, and you do overwhelmingly for sure. But some of the stuff you're posting, I'm a little worried about, because it's stuff that's going at Masai and Bobby. And as I said, we can't do that right now. We've damage control right now. We've lost Nick and Fred. We do not need to post information that's telling people that they should be mad at Masai and Bobby right now. Cool Cat saying, my interest in Pascal is not about basketball. It's about him as an individual. So I won't be sad if he's not a Raptor anymore. Okay, so you love him either way. And I get it. You're a Pascal stan. So it's like, I get it. But I know you're attached to him for sure. David's saying, you're the greatest, super fan Mo. No big shoes to fill. You do a great job. We love you, Mo. Seriously, I'm sorry if I seemed like I was like, I just don't want people to think that that's our only championship parade. I don't want people to think that we're not going to get another championship. And if our words lend to that kind of thinking, it's not good. It's not helpful. That's why we got to say that is our first championship. It's not the Toronto Raptors championship. It's the first Toronto Raptors championship. And these things matter. Shere Khan saying top Raptors talent who didn't want to stay here include T-Mac, Vince, Chris Bosh, Kyle, and now Fred. Pascal is the only one who says F other teams. I want to be a Raptor. It doesn't matter what it takes. Need to keep him. It's not that these guys didn't want to stay. It's just that there was a fork in the road, Shirkan, where we had to make tough decisions. If Kyle could have stayed, he probably would have. But he knew that the money wasn't going to line up and he'd hurt our team. So he's ready to say goodbye. Fred, he just cashed out. He probably did want to stay. It's Houston really just gave him an obscene amount of money that he could say no to. And that's all that is. They're all different situations. The Vince situation, the Chris situation, the Tracy situation. So it's hard to really kind of put them all in the same basket for sure. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. We love you, Monique. I'm sorry. Here's a big hug. If I made you mad just now, I didn't really mean to. Seriously, I love what you're doing so much in so many different ways. Let's see, one more check. Precious is on Instagram. He's been really wearing really interesting stuff, like where he wears like overcoats and shorts, so it looks like he's kind of wearing a dress. And he's got really crazy white boots on. And he's got really cool glasses. Precious, you are a fashion icon. We love you. You're such a badass. And then Marquise Noel's posted a couple of things while I've been on. He's talking about K-State and who's coming up next. And he's also saying this: dear God, thank you. Thank you for another day and an opportunity to be alive and see another day. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to maximize my potential again. And thank you for everything you're blessed me with. And thank you for everything you're about to bless me with. That is what Marquise Noel is saying this morning on his Instagram. I love to see that. All right, y'all, check your WNBA Fantasy League teams and make sure you got your lineup set. We got the last day of the week for the matchups. It looks like a very close game between Cool Cat and Tom Duke. So that may be a game to watch. And Monique, you've got a lead over Nako. So yeah, check your lineups and make sure you finish up your week for your fantasy week. All right, Monique, I love you. I'm glad to hear you'll be here, and we'll see everybody tomorrow for a Monday moment. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. And then we'll have trivia on Tuesdays. So you guys know the regular schedule, guys. Benevo, Isaac Campbell saying much love and W's to all. Thank you, Isaac. And thank you, everybody. Please have a great Sunday and keep positivity for the Raptors in your heart, for good things to happen. See the light in the dark, see the silver linings, and keep striving for good progress and good possibilities to happen. We can all change our lives in an instant with the power of perception. If you want to perceive your life sucks, well, it sucks. If you want to perceive that your life is great and blessed, it will be great and blessed. You could have the best life in the world, millions of dollars, people that care about you, and you still hate your life because you can't see the good in it because you're overlooking it, and you have everything, and be more miserable than a person that has no money, not a whole lot, maybe one really good friend, but they absolutely really have gratitude for the little bit that they have and that one friend, and they are happier than the person that has everything. That is a chance for you to understand the power of perception, that it is how you want to perceive it from your own mind. You want to perceive it as a bad thing? Well, it'll be a bad thing. You want to perceive it as a good thing? You can make a bad thing into a good thing. You can make a good thing into a bad thing. It's your power. And you have that choice every single day. Mike saying, yeah, Fred and Kyle were more money was needed. Vince, Chris, and T-Mac were also unique. Same with Kawhi. W Stream. Thanks, guys. And Cowboys blowing it up. All right, let's go. Raptors.